Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 5v5 CTF Tournament for Flag Day, hosted by Nerd Street Gamers. Your casting entertainment will be myself, Seymour, and joining me is none other than Visions. And you know what, Visions, we've had a lot of dominations in this season, but it's time for some CTF today. How do you feel about that?
Man, it's a bit of a throwback for sure. I mean, this has been an argument on whether or not CTF should be thrown in towards the mix for the normal competitive play, and getting a chance to actually cast over it for me personally the very first time is very exciting because Seymour, we've gotten to cast over a lot of hard points. You know, we've gotten to cast those dominations, but I mean, CTF just kind of brings us back to those old days. So I think it's going to be a fantastic day, and we're going to get to take a look to see exactly how the competitive mode itself would play out and what some of the strategies will be for these teams coming in towards the mix. But before we do, ladies and gentlemen, we do have to give you guys just a big shout out here over towards US Army. And I mean, they wouldn't be possible to put this entire thing on without them. So if you're looking to make an impact, there's no better place to do that than the US Army. Whether your goal is to be at the forefront of fighting and curing deadly diseases, developing and using tools and technologies the world doesn't even know exist, or defending your country, fighting disasters, and seeking adventure across the globe, the Army is where all of that can happen, and so much more. The U.S. Army is a team of 1 million unique and powerful individuals working together to take on the most complex problems in the nation and the world, and to win. Nowhere else on Earth provides you the training, experience, and the purpose you can find with the Army, because no other team has so many people around the globe with the goal of making the world safer, the country stronger, and the future of their communities better. If you're looking to secure a future, ask yourself, what's your warrior? And go to goarmy.com/Philadelphia to find out. To learn more, contact your local Army recruiter and find us on social media at Army Team Mid-Atlantic. But, ladies and gentlemen, back towards the mix of the gameplay that's coming in here for us. This will be our winners final, and if you're not familiar with CTF, we will have 2 5-minute rounds. There will be a mercy roll of 5 caps, so if the team's able to grab that, I will be quite surprised if we do see those mercy rolls come through, Seymour, but if they do, then that will be the closeout on the map.
Oh, I mean, like you said, surprised to see those mercy rolls if they happen. We are hopping into the winners final, so if you're here, like if you usually tune into the gunfight tournaments that we usually do hop in right at this exact moment for the gunfights. It's going to be a best of 3 as well before we hop down into the loser bracket best of 1s. So that's going to be also interesting. And like you said, the pacing might be a little bit different with these teams. I do expect a lot of smoke grenades to be used in this CTF. It's going to really break off the map lanes. It's really going to execute. It's really going to allow teams to execute down the lanes that they want to, especially on maps like Modern Warfare, which are really wide open and not a lot of just cut rules to go through.
Yeah, and I think the field upgrades is something I'm kind of be interested in to seeing as well. I imagine all of our submachine gun players and MP5 players on the map will be using, the dead silence to be able to at least utilize those flag caps and run yourself across the map. And then you'll see those assault rifles, I would presume, if we do have a couple of them, more than one, that will be running the assault rifle with the trophy system. So that's likely the setups I will be looking out for and watching as we get ready to kick in towards this very first match. It will be Gun Runner to see exactly how things kick off for us and who's going to be able to strike first in this best of 3.
Oh yeah, I know me and you, we were just watching Atlanta versus LA on the Game 5 S&D right on Gunrunner, so we've already seen Gunrunner today, but for right now, for this stream, we're going to see Gunrunner capture the flag, starting off on silent. He's going to be breaking off over towards B-Dom. He's going to find 2 on the minecarts, get ripped down by Miguel. And it's going to be Bet sitting in green. What is he looking to do? He's going to be playing this slow. I like this pace, but he's caught out by GGO and slayed down.
Is taken down, and well, this is what we're going to watch. When you find all of these kills, you have to look to move up on the map and gain some map pressure. GG Go here, he's going to be stuck in the green area, but he's not going to be able to really advance without his teammates backing him up. He wins another gunfight, finds himself on a 2 spree, and he's definitely looking in the right angle at the moment. Finds some shots in towards the back of Bet, but won't be there to secure it. His teammate will be there with the trade. So now back towards the 50-50 in the middle of the map. Risky's going to be pushing up the stairs, and this is where I expect this assault rifle play to start to take place. Getting control of this power position to allow your subs to push up, but already doing a great job of pushing things down, and now that will be 3 coming out here for the side of Passion Fighters as they're looking to move up and maybe go for a flight cap.
Reform, he might have a big pick here, and he finds it on Young Just. This could be the opportunity to take it, but Sleepy with that MP5. What a shot. Bet gonna clear out third hard point. And it's going to look like the red team, AS1 Network, is going to be able to break out from their spawns. Look at the minimap number 7. He's popping through washrooms. He's going to find Go off from the back, breaking into second hard point. This could be where he pulls the flag. First flag pull imminent. If Bet could find this, he knows Silent's going to be coming from behind, but Silent, he wins that 1v1 and he clears the point. So now it will be Passion Fighters. It's their turn to break out of their side.
And I'm already seeing just how difficult it is to be able to try and move up the map here with the spawns, because they're actually pushing from every single angle in the map. So they're not necessarily manipulating spawns in the sense that you want to be able to try and force that spawn by P3, which is right past the minecart. We do see Sleepy, who tries to go for an aggressive pull, but his teammates are simply not there to be able to protect him. And there it is. We're going to see GGO. He's going to pull the trigger. He's got the Jets going with the dead sounds. He's moving quick. Hustle's going to grab the first cutoff. This is looking to be a flag cap unless player 0. That will be risky. He has to go absolutely massive with the assault rifle. Finds the kill, but the trade is good, so the flag still ends up going through Reform with a good recovery, and Passion Fighters will find that very first flag.
This could be sneaky from Silent. This could be the Silent play that he gets, and he just finds the first pick onto Risky. That means it's go time, taking the flag right out of their spawn, but on the opposite side of the map, you do see number 3, that's Young Just. He has the flag. He's actually going to confront Silent here. He's actually going to push right up to it. Silent with the better gun in that close situation. He has to watch out for that red player sitting there. He's going to get the flag back into his spawn. That's Miguel. But he's taken out, and they re-stabilize in their spawn. So both flags back at their homes. And it's looking like a mid-split from this AS1 team. Young Just, he finds 2, and this could be the breakout that they're asking for. Silent and Hustle doing an excellent job at dropping them down, but Bet, he's working this forest side. He might be able to catch off Reform from behind if he's not ready for this. Reform's really pushed up into the spawn of AS1 Network. He is cleaned up. So this is AS1 restabilizing, and they have to find a pick, and they have to find a breakout onto this and get the flag out of that spawn, because it does seem like Passion Fighters, they just have the better spawns right now.
Hustle pushing up through Cole, finds the first one, 9 and 4. It's a great start, looking for 2, and he does successfully grab the second. So he has to work his way right in towards what could be our control room here, getting into Boiler, and he's holding his position. This is great discipline from him. He's waiting for his teammates to, again, move up on the map. He doesn't win his gunfight, but his teammates there with the trade. We try to see Noah Hydro combined for a 2-piece. Won't be successful. So AS1 Network, they have an opportunity to try and move up, and it's off Young Just. He had a pull this earlier before, but he did get a little bit greedy with trying to shut down the flag carrier. Costed him his life. That's one of the main reasons that cap did not end up going through, as Risky over towards the side is getting himself on a 2 spree. Silent looking for some shots, does take down Sleepy, so not letting anyone flip past enemy lines except for one more player has been dealt with. Now Passion Fighters have 40 seconds here to work with. They got a bit of map control. Silent's going on a bit of a spree, will be shut down, but they're in a good move here. They're just holding and just setting up this defensive strategy around the flag to make sure no one's going to get a last second pull.
And I do like the way Passion Fighters are playing this. You can tell that the right side of the map, where the blue flag is at the moment, is more of it's the flag to look out for and to have, because the better spawns are just turning around it. I think it's easier to pull from the red side right now and get it out of their spawn. So I really like the way Passion Fighters are just playing that defense more and trying to make sure that AS1 Network can't get it out of their spawns. Going into the second half, though, they're looking for that 1-0 lead and holding that tightly, because Hustle, I don't think he'll have time to break out. It's the defense of AS1's holding strong, and in this flip, I do expect them to have a little bit easier time getting that flag out of there.
Yeah, it should be a little bit easier to kind of put that through. Haven't seen too many smoke grenades kind of come in towards the mix here for us, like we were anticipating and talking up before jumping in towards some of these matches and series within this game mode. But it's pretty much just been all just pushing up, just trying to win these gunfights, not a whole lot of tacticals and nades coming in towards the mixture whatsoever. But we do go through that flip of the side to see if anything will, in fact, change for us, and if we can have more success on this side of the map for AS1 Network, where they're going to send 4 members right over towards the cargo crates area. 1 member will back up to make sure no push-through happens. Reform is here. We'll open up with that big kill, and that will be a follow-up. Well able to grab 2, make that 3, pushing his advantage even further, and Risky's in a great position. There's the smoke grenades. They're out, they're pushing, and they already have a lot of control.
And this control is important too, because we saw that they were having trouble breaking out of their own spawns, and it's nice to suffocate Passion Fighters back in there. Hustle's doing an excellent job, but Miguel, he jumps around the corner. Hustle's going to be able to win that fight out. Young Just, he's going to be that defender there. You look at the mini-map, and Passion Fighters, they're still in their spawn. Number 4, he went down. Number 2 is the closest one. That's GGO. He's the closest one at breaking into their sites. He's going to be playing that crates area where he will be met by 2. So if he's cleaned up here, Reform is there to back him up. But I do expect Passion Fighters to have a little bit more trouble pushing into the ASN Network spawn right now.
That's a big two-piece that comes through there for Noah Hydra. Looking to see if he can keep this going. 3 spree for him. Pushing up with map control. Passion Fighters find a lot of kills down, but everybody on AS1 Network forced to sit in this P2 warehouse building, waiting to push out. Sleepy looks to get aggressive, gets some great timing, finds one from the back, and takes down Silent. Hustle looking to make that move on towards the flag. Has not been a pull just yet. He has been dealt with. There's only one more player that's past enemy lines. He will also fall. So a great line of defense here for AS1 Network, not to fall apart when it matters most. The kills go through even more so as Reform's caught up in the middle of the map here, but can't get anything done. And now there's a chance to push out. Player number 6 in the side of the map here. That's Sleepy. He's looking to get himself towards the flag. He has a chance for a pull, but he's going to have to likely find one kill before he does.
Reform going down, that's important. It looks like he is going to pull the flag. He has to get this pick into Forest, but luckily, Passion Fighters, they did have a player in green. He was able to get that out. Mikael is there to get it, but he's flashed on off. Was that his own flash that stopped him there?
It might have been. It might have been the flash.
That one out, but now Noah, he really has to pay attention to the breakout from Sleepy right now, because Sleepy has been that sneaky player. He's going to get that 1v1 in town. Bet finds the mid kill onto GGO, and they're going to rotate over to Forest. Noah Hydra on that turbine finds the first pick. He looks for the second, takes out Bet. Last player is risky on that side. He is going to clean him up, but it does look like actually that might shake it up a little bit, because I was going to say that might slow him down a bit more. He finds that third kill onto Hustle. He might be able to break out into the spawn. If he stays alive here, it could add so much pressure onto the Passion Fighter spawn. This is incredible.
Well, goes down. You see, Risky was holding the forest area constantly, and now they're looking to pull the flag out. It will be Bet who's going to actually slip it away, but can he get himself down? The nades are out. Silent has a chance to go big. He tags him up, and Bet needs some help. Everybody is swarming around him, and what a great job here in the last 2 minutes of the second half to make sure that flag does not run away as they lock things down. Big gunfights come in. Now, Passion Fighters with a bit of map control in their favor. They'll look to be able to push up and get themselves in towards enemy territory, and can look to maybe put that final nail in the coffin with that second flag. It's still a very close game. Watch where these players are pushing through the right side of the map right now, back towards Cole. They're flooding over towards the side of this map, which is manipulating the spawns here, back warehouse in the forest area. If they can get their AR player back in towards the mix, they will be able to kind of lock down a spawn trap here in this P5 hill. But all those gunfights are just swinging away at Passion Fighters, all the ones that matter, not letting anybody get close. There's still 1:15 on the clock, but if you're AS1 Network, you're starting to get desperate.
Yeah, desperate indeed. Only a minute on the clock. And Sleepy, he does pick up the flag, if I'm not mistaken. He's going to be running it through, taking out the tack knife. He gets double the speed. This could be a cap right here. Look at the mini-map. Nobody to contest him. It will be a tie game, 1-1 with 55 seconds. I was going to praise Passion Fighters for the way they were playing it. They weren't being too aggressive since that first push that they did break into the AS1 Network spawns, because ever since then, they've been on the defense. They've been able to clear out AS1 out of their spawns, but this time, Sleepy, he's being that thorn in the side of them. He gets that first cap. It's tied up, 30 seconds left. Is it possible to break it out of overtime, Visions?
They're looking like we might just go, and I'm definitely down to see some CTF overtime. Let me tell you, Seymour, that's one heck of a way to start off game number 1, but we could see maybe a pull right to the middle of the map. McQuell going to grab the flag. Is he going to be able to slip away? He has to go right through the middle. He has to run it here. He has all of his angles covered just about. There's one player that's going to jump over the half wall that has a chance, but he makes it through. The trade is good, and the comeback might just be real. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's so close, and he gets it at the last second. Oh my lord! AS1 Network with the comeback, and they grab and steal map number 1.
Talk about a buzzer beater for the first map on stream. Sleepy, he's getting that first one, but it's all on Mikael getting that second cap there. He put the jets on, caps it up. And they didn't even have to slay out too much. I know they were breaking out of their spawn excellently, but Mikael going 21 and 21. He's the player that really stood out to me, just being that even kind of pain in the side. You know, Sleepy was always in the spawns of Passion Fighters, but it was really Mikael. He kept on going back and forth with them, and you know, getting that last cap there, just like I thought it was going to overtime. He just snuck that out of nowhere.
I mean, all of that happened in the last 2 minutes of that second round. The fact that they were able to still somehow manage to grab that very first pull and get all the cutoffs just about perfectly the way they did. Running that flag was just in itself was magnificent, but doing it then twice in a row and being able to pull that down, like you said, Seymour, in the last second, coming down to the wire, the clutch was there, it was in, and that's got to be just an absolute heartbreaker here for the boys here that are trying to get some passion going for themselves heading in towards the rest of the series, because I mean, that is a tough one to swallow for sure. You're in control of the game, you're feeling great, the defense was there, but I think you hit on a really key point. You said that they're not playing as aggressive, they're not looking to overextend as much to be able to pull those flags back, and when you stop playing like that, you give a lot of room towards the opposing team to be able to move up and gain a lot of those power positions and a lot of that map control that makes the difference. And that's exactly what we saw play out for us in the last 2 minutes of that game. And my God, what a treat that was. I wish CTF was in the rotation for us, Seymour, because that was just map number 1, and that was already a banger, man.
I mean, because we had a little bit of a discussion about the difference between domination and hardpoint and what we see in the CDL or amateur plays. As we go into St. Petrograd, though, like we can really point out that CTF is that kind of killer in the middle of them. It kind of plays at the pace of a hardpoint match, but with the strategy of a domination match. So it really kind of mixes the both of two. But right now, we're really focusing on this next match. I'm looking for Passion Fighters to continue fighting for that passion that they had in that first round, the pressure that they kept on putting on AS1 Network Spawn. They were missing that in the second half of the game. They need to get that back, but why don't you take it away with Reform here?
Yeah, Reform coming. I'm expecting things to be a lot slower paced on St. Petrograd. You can take a look at that map, but you can just see this map is very long for us from east to west. So I expect the middle map control to be pretty hectic, as we do see a pull that does come through pretty early on, but I can't see this one going through, as it will just be someone who ends up slipping through, but that return should come in. Reform is there, as it did get a little bit close. The shot's not good enough to find the execute, and now that will be at least the very first flag touch, but no secure. Now back towards the middle of the map. Sleepy trying to get himself in towards the restaurant. Does grab himself a nice little 2K right in the middle. Does give him an opening. He's going to pop the dead silence, and he's going to look to book it to the flag once again.
Yeah, and he's going to pick this one up as well and break off towards the water side, but he put his back right to the spawn there, which I didn't really like to see. Reform picking up that kill and putting the flag right back in his home. Doing an excellent job of playing on that defense once again. Like we were saying before, they're not really putting the pressure on. They haven't really broken off the halfway point of this map. I mean, if you look at the mini-map, they did have a player that was closer. He got cleaned up, and they're really kind of... This is the first time that I've actually seen them aggress over the halfway point. Reform's going to pick up a nice kill into Young Just, GGO on the other side, taking out Risky, but I need a little bit more from this Passion Fighters team right now, because Sleepy, he's non-stop in the spawn of Passion Fighters. He's doing a good job at being that sneaky player that gets by, and I think they need a player like Sleepy on the side of Passion Fighters to do that.
Silent trying to be that player. Does get shut down. Now 4 down immediately in the middle of the map here. As Hustle able to win his one-on-one. Takes down Sleepy, and while a big part of CTF is tracking the names on the map, especially knowing where the flag cappers are and those people that are usually running those routes, someone like Sleepy is very important to communicate here through the comms on who you're going to be able to take down to make sure he's not at that flag. But that's a big opportunity now for Passion Fighters, as they're going to be able to get themselves past the middle of the map. But look at Sleepy. He's been able to sleep right through in towards the side. He wins his gunfight. There's going to be most certainly a pull, and this is going to draw some of these members back. So they're going to have to try and track exactly where he's running. He is running water side, but Hustle is there with the tracking himself. Will win that gunfight out, and now this is actually a good opportunity for Passion Fighters to be able to move up, but there was no gunfight win there for Reform with 3 in a row. So all these submachine guns that are flooding back in towards the mix are keeping Passion Fighters at bay, as we're well going to encounter quite a few blue members there. Won't be able to find anything, and now we'll get the stalemate, but still 2 minutes left on the clock here to try and make something happen.
That was just a sea of blue that met Miguel, but look at Bet's positioning. He's all the way in billiards. He might be able to break through the spawns here, but I don't know if this would disrupt the spawns of Passion Fighters. They might be able to know that there's somebody behind them. Bet's going to win the first gunfight onto Hustle. He might get the second one onto Silence. Silence there to clean it up, and he keeps it at a 0-0 at the moment. Young Just and Miguel doing an excellent job at making sure nobody can break into the AS1 network spawn. I love that the way that the AS1 is holding this defense. They have that excellent kind of performance between Sleepy and I think Sleepy and Bet, who's always in the spawns of Passion Fighters, and then you just keep Miguel and Young Just, those defensive players in your spawn, able to clean up whatever you want. Young Just as an AR, he's doing a phenomenal job in this winners final.
Passion Fighters, though, have not been able to do a whole lot on this side of the map, and that's just been through the sub-pressure, it feels like. Sleepy, how many times has he touched the flag? This has got to be at least 4, I feel like, as he is going to pull it to Riverside once again. He has nobody giving him the cutoff, so he's touching the flag a lot, but the setup is not there. And now this leaves an opening on the top of the flag here for the side of AS1 Network. They do try and grab this and pull this out. Silent right behind the flag carrier. Hydro is going to find one in the back who reads the situation wrong, so he is taken down. And now the run right through. The spawns are very deep all the way back in the flower shop. Silent does a good job of finding those 2 big kills to make sure no one's going to be able to move out of spawn and track down Noah Hydro. So big plays here. Passion Fighters wait for their opportunity to pounce, and they make it pay off.
And it's that non-stop pressure from Passion Fighters. You know, they were having a hard time getting across that mid-map, but, you know, eventually, as you keep throwing yourself at it, one of these times you're going to break through with those kills. Noah Hydro doing an excellent job getting that first flag cap on board for Passion Fighters. Almost exactly a mirrored matchup like that gun runner that we just saw, but I'm really looking towards AS1 on this next spawn. Will they be able to do the exact same thing that they did last time? It's 15 seconds left. Sleepy's the closest player there, but it's bunkered down. Passion Fighters, they're going to clean up the players as they get in there. It looks like a 1-0 lead as we head into the second round, as Noah Hydro, he finishes up 2 on a 3 spree as well. Doing an excellent job across the board. Passion Fighters coming out on top in the first half.
You're coming on top of the first half, but we've seen this story before, Seymour, and we know that when it comes down to the final moments, the ice most certainly there for AS1 Network. Whether or not that'll happen again will be the question. As you see Hustle here, this goes on a bit of a tear in the middle of the map, and the MP5 difference was there for AS1 Network. They were getting a lot of touches, but unfortunately the whole setup with the touch itself off the flag just was not there multiple times, and that's what's been the difference. Passion Fighters only touched the flag once, and they made a flag cap off of it. Just goes to show that patience does pay off once you do end up getting the right players in the right places. So into side 2 we will go, but both of these teams will flip sides. Silent looks to take the long route through P1. We'll check and actually make sure no one is slipping through. Meanwhile, he's lost a couple of his teammates. Does manage to find one, did get a little bit close, but Silent's still there with the gunfight. Young Just will trade things out with the assault rifle as he's looking to reposition and move himself up and towards the middle of the map. And you can already see just the map aggression. AS1 Network picking up right where they left off, where they have all these members pushing up, holding down all these lanes, making it so difficult for Passion Fighters to be able to move up and efficiently trade. And they're constantly having to play defense, and things can get very scary once again as AS1 Network, they're looking to move up.
Oh yeah, and I mean, it's almost like they're setting a line of scrimmage for themselves at that halfway point of the map. They're holding that control, making sure that they have those players that can push up. Number 8 on the minimap, that's Young Just. He's going to get right up. He's got the MP5 now instead of the M4. He does end up going down to Reform, but Sleepy, it's his turn now. It's non-stop aggression. Nice little mid-angle from Risky. He's going to be able to pivot around, take the off angles on these players that are trying to cross mid. Bet finds a nice double kill. It does look like AS1 Network is going to have the opportunity, if they keep this up, to break in, just like Passion Fighters was doing. But as I say, that 5 go down, it's a reset into their spawn, and now it's Hustle's turn.
Hustle hitting Waterside. Dead Silence is available. He's going to pop it. Well, throws a nade, but does get tagged up. So Hustle does give away his position. Still on top of the flag with the dagger in hand, making sure no one's going to be able to touch that flag, at least close. But Silent, he's slowly working bottom and top blue. He's got a chance for a gunfight. He wins it. Doesn't go over the flag cap just right away, as he knows there's one player close and nearby. Silent waits, and the patience there. He finds a second, but he's stunned up, and that stun was just about perfect to make sure he does not get a cap or a touch. And now everybody from the side of AS1 Network going to have to flood right back through all of these buildings and clear things out. Hustle right back into the same spot he was just a few moments ago. Will be taken down, and now everybody flooding and fanning out through the middle of the map. But Noah Hydro, top restaurant, finds 2, drops down and beats down Bed for 3 with big plays from him. Still looking for more, but will be shut down. Does leave an opening and does stop a bit of that pressure that was just given over to AS1 Network.
Doing a good job indeed. You know, that's a highlight. The highlighted spot that I put on for the hard points and the dominations on St. Petrograd, that top kitchen area, is such a good way to lock down that middle courtyard, as we saw Noah Hydro do so. 3 go down for AS1 Network. And Silent, he's doing an excellent job at cleaning up their spawns. But now it's time to flood down into the side of AS1 Network. Silent getting cleaned up by Bet to go down from Passion Fighters. Really back and forth. Sleepy might have an opportunity to pull the flag if he can win this gunfight. Reform making sure that he doesn't. He picks up a double kill with 4 going down on AS1 Network. This could be Passion Fighters putting some more pressure down mid. You see them all flooding into the restaurant area. You see it's actually met with the aggression right back from AS1 Network. It's going to be back and forth trades. Silent finding 2 of his own. Make that 3. This could be his chance to break into their site. They could have a second flag cap if they play their cards right. We might see a map 3.
AS1 Network, I mean, you're not going to be able to run this flag just as fast as you did on Gunrunner. If you pull it the last second, you will have to try and get this flag a little bit earlier and try to touch it. And that's been a problem so far for them on this side. They haven't not gotten too many touches like they were doing in that first side. So already seeing a favored side play out for us on St. Petro. Noah Hydro finds a big one-on-one, but will not be able to combine for the multi-kill. And everybody is just simply setting up here. Passion Fighters not letting anyone sneak through enemy lines to make sure that they do hold on towards this lead this time around. Now down to the last minute of play in towards this map number 2 in this best of 3 series. Young Just can't get by, gets cut down. The next wave is going to be up as they get themselves top hazmat building. Silent deals with 1. It's pretty much all the Sleepy and Bet at the moment. They're going to have to push up, and they're going to have to get aggressive here very quickly.
Silent is 34 and 19 visions. He's having an absolutely standout map 2 on the St. Petrograd point. He's really being that standalone player to make sure that AS1 Network can't get into their spawns hustle. He's doing an excellent job too, but GTO, he's the one to clean up in the spawns hustles, holding back spawn on top of the warehouse. And he finds a Young Justice with the pull, but Reform on the defense. You know, 4 are there. It's going to be hard to get it out of the spawn when there's 4 players with an AR, especially on Reform. And he's hitting shots like that. There's 12 seconds left. It's physically impossible to make that capture. We're going to see a map 3 come on board, Visions.
Map 3, it's in for us. As there was no time to run the flag, but it was a good attempt, a good try. Passion Fighters, what seems to be the favorite side for us, will be able to hold on, lock things down. And well, things did end up getting close once again in a couple of those scenarios, but it came down to the submachine guns. Big plays coming out for us. You talked about Silent being one of those big players here. Noah also one that was able to put up a good amount of stats here. 20 bomb for him, finding a lot of multi-kills that shut down some of those pushes that were breaking out on the map. But you said it, 35. That is just an absolute difference maker. When you have that submachine gun pressure that's putting up that many numbers, doing that much work, it makes it so hard to be able to constantly move up when this man is just grabbing multi-kill after multi-kill, man. It is tough scenes. And well, 1-0 the scoreline. Both games extremely close for us, but it has been certainly more controlled for the Passion Fighters here across both the maps, even after the little bit of a blunder in map 1 Gunrunner. So we will head towards a map number 3 where things will get very, very spicy. And well, if you're just tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, this is our winners final. So whoever takes this will move in towards that grand final with that 1-0 map up advantage. So there is a lot on the line, and well, you most certainly want to be up with that 1-0 map advantage and do not want to be down in that losers bracket where things get even more intense and you could just be eliminated from the tournament.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, one thing that I can really point out from the AS1 Network, the difference between that Gunrunner and that St. Petrograd, Sleepy and Mikael. I mean, you're 2 SMG players that are supposed to be up close and personal in their spawns, where they're both negative, and they're the only 2 players to not cross that 20 bomb mark on the team of AS1 Network. They were really having a slower game than they did on Gunrunner, which is really important to say because they were the 2 key players that were the reason that AS1 was able to make that 2 flag in a row capture to come back. So if I'm looking into this map 3, I'm really focusing for AS1 Network if Sleepy and Mikael can be that presence in the spawn of Passion Fighters. If they can get in there, drop those kills, slay out, break the flag out of there. I mean, you already have Young Just, who's doing an excellent job on defense, and he's doing a great job at locking down their spawn, making sure that Passion Fighters can't get more than they already have. So, I mean, it's all up to Sleepy and Mikael, in my opinion, because right now, Passion Fighters, like you said, over these 2 maps, they've been the more consistent team. They've been holding it down. They've been locking it down. Almost like they've been locking down their spawns more than the middle of the map. They haven't really focused on putting that line of scrimmage down like AS1 Network does. And then when they flood into the side of AS1 Network, it's when they have the opportunity to. They're not just throwing themselves at a wall every time.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. And I mean, I think that we're also starting to take a look at, what 5v5 CTF looks like, because anyone that, of course, is familiar with what we have going for the competitive scene, we have not seen CTF since World War II. And that was back when things, of course, were 4v4. So seeing 5v5, things are most certainly a lot more chaotic. And you can kind of just see, the big difference. When you go back and think of, classic CTF scene, or, I instantly get reminded of, Envy with Rambo, who is now, one of the coaches here on Empire Dallas, and being able to see him was just a lot of reminding me of exactly what we were seeing from Silent, just constantly running at the flag, and when you get the flag, also playing around with that little timer, because for anyone that doesn't know, when you cap the flag every 10 seconds, it repopulates yourself and the ping on the map and the tracking, so you can play with those 10 seconds and kind of work and outmaneuver your opponents, play those little mind tricks that come in towards the mix here. So anyone that doesn't know, those are some of those little things that you can do. Rambo, a big player, who talked about that for a very, very long time within this game mode. And what we're just seeing, I think, Passion Fighters do a better job of understanding that when there is a chance to go for the flight cap, they go. They don't force it a lot of those times. They make sure that they have everybody set up and ready for that flight cap that comes through, so that even if you have to win just one gunfight to be able to push yourself in and get yourself that flank running across the map, then that's all you need for your teammates then to be relied on winning those gunfights. Where I think you were just seeing from AS1 Network, they weren't putting themselves in that same situation. They were going for the caps and just touching and touching, which is great. You want to get your hands on that flag to be able to get that cap, but you have to make sure you have everything set up for you ahead of time. And that was just, I think, the big difference for us. St. Petro, I still think a very long map, so very difficult to be able to kind of get those setups going for yourself with all the housing and all the middle map control that plays a factor from top restaurant and top hazmat. But still, Passion Fighters have been striking first every single flag cap. They've been the ones that at least have looked a little bit more dominant for me, and besides their blunder, they've just been about flawless through every single map that we've seen for them. This map number 3, I think that's coming up here, will be a Ramaza. And well, Seymour, there is a lot of different routes that you can take on Ramaza here for us. There's a lot of the middle map control that comes into a factor from top plat to bottom mid. There's all these different routes that can be run, and all these different hiding places, I think, as well, through construction and through the back ruins area. So this one's going to be a really interesting one to see exactly how it's going to play out for us.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, Ramaza, like, you did a good job at touching down on the fact that you get, like, your positioning gets broadcasted every single 10 seconds that crosses when you're holding the flag. So you did a good job at stabilizing that, and that's going to be important to look for in a map like Ramaza, which is all these tight corners to get around. If you want to run it through I think the B, S, and D side of the map where tunnels is. If you want to run it through that side and get through the tunnels, you can, but then you have a long corridor to worry about where they could pick you up in the long distance of it. But if you want to run through the middle of the map, that's totally possible because it's really close quarters. I mean, as soon as you get out of restaurants, if you're moving towards the attacking side of the map for S&D, you have the construction to worry about. You can just duck behind there, get into the building, get through into the spawns. If you're moving on the other side of there, you can jump over sandbags and you can move over into or you can even move over into the A bomb site side of the map where you have to worry about top construction, bottom construction. There's so many pillars to just dance around, so many ways that you can kind of mimic that broadcast across the map to your advantage. So with Ramaza being the third map here, I think this is really going to show which team uses the abilities in this game mode, because a lot of what I've seen, and you touched on it, that we haven't seen CTF since World War II. A lot of these players might be losing their roots on how tactical this game mode can be over the run and gun that's been shown in Modern Warfare so far, in Domination, in Hardpoint. I mean, Search and Destroy is the most tactical thing that you have in this game so far when it comes to the competitive scene. So a lot of these players, they have to be reminded about how tactical a game like CTF can be and how you have to worry about those cooldowns that come in when you're moving the flag.
Agreed. Very, very complex, 100% for this game mode. And I mean, that was maybe one of the reasons why, we didn't even see it come in towards the rotation. It was talked about, but was not brought in. And I think that maybe plays off the factor of some of the maps here, as, we have been seeing, some new ones, I think, thrown in towards the mix for us. If we do get towards any of them, I believe an Arklov Peak was most certainly one. And, well, that would be one heck of a map to see with some very long rotation, some long lanes. Wouldn't even be surprised if we get 4 ARs, even 5 ARs potentially. essentially with
Or
the knife in the
Viper.
back to be able to run those flags, right? I mean, and we were seeing hardpoint 5v5 at the beginning of the year. There were teams running 5 ARs across the map, which is absolutely insane to think about in a mapping combo. And that's something that we might very likely end up seeing here for us too. And well, you touched on also some of the tacticals that were coming into play, and we have been seeing those trophy systems that have been neglecting a few of those tacticals and lethals that have been thrown in towards the mix, but still doesn't feel like we've been seeing a whole lot of smokes, maybe just one on each team, so not seeing maybe more than one, which is a little bit interesting. So maybe following the competitive integrity of what we have for G8 rules, at least across the CDL, where you are only allowed to have one smoke on towards your team, and I believe it's 2 trophies on towards your team, maybe possibly 3, but it's still kind of just seeing some of that thrown in towards the mix here is very, very interesting, because we have not gotten to see CTF so far on the year. This is our very first taste at seeing what it's like in 5v5, as we just have not seen this competitive game mode. And that's what makes things so exciting for me, is it's just bringing me back all these flashbacks and nostalgia from these previous years of these close, tight moments, like that map number 1 where it came down to the last 2 minutes and the flag cap at like 0.4 seconds or 0.5, whatever it was, to be able to secure that win, man. That's what I love. That's what I miss. And that's what this game mode brings. So it makes for some very entertaining action, where I don't imagine that action is going to stop by any means, but I do think that AS1 Network for this game number 3 has to have a little bit of a better start. And it almost did feel like their team, they were getting maybe a little bit frantic. They felt the need to be able to kind of get aggressive at times, to be able to touch the flag. And I've touched on it a couple times about not having that set up ahead of you, but you have to wonder, whether or not that's been thrown in towards the comms and thrown in towards the mix on, we want to be able to get that aggressive first touch. We want to get that first pull so that we can try to be the team that sets up a little bit more defensively and forces the other team and forces their hand to be able to make those plays, and maybe forces more mistakes out of them. That's kind of the question you can throw in towards things here. But it would be very important for me, at least from my opinion, to be able to strike first, grab that first flag cap on Ramaza, as there's a lot of spots that you can hide. There's a lot of defensive spots that you're going to be able to have an advantage from, with just about 2 platforms playing a factor. You could also see, I'm not sure where the flag cap actually is itself on the back end of Ramaza by construction, but top 3 might be a big power position to be able to lock things down with that assault rifle, completely playing defense, moving back out, watching over the bridge, watching over the middle of the map. Those are some of the areas I think that'll be really impactful, and we'll watch to look for.
Yeah, and that's where I'm going to be looking to Young Just over on the side of AS1 Network. If he can lock down top 3, depending on the response, if he can lock down top 3, sure, and he can hold that one off of it's going to be an important angle for AS1 Network to have. But you're touching on the tacticals in this game, and what I really like to see from Passion Fighters is they weren't too focused on the smokes as much as AS1 Network was. You saw that every single time that Sleepy touched the flag and he tried to break out of the side of Passion Fighters, he got stunned up, cleaned up, they returned the flag. It was instant. They were doing a really good job at conserving their stuns to make sure that once the flag was pulled, they made sure that player couldn't move, and they cleaned him up instantly. So I do like this to see what they're running on these tacticals. I mean, Silent, you see him with a smoke grenade. He's breaking on through middle. He could be the one that moves on through. Opening pick's going to be Hustle, but we're really looking at Passion Fighters. How are they going to set the pace of this? Because they've been setting the tempo of this game this whole time.
Yep, much smaller map that we will be dealing with, so could see a lot more flag caps come in towards the mix for us, as it will be just Passion Fighters backing up, making sure no one does slip through from AS1 Network. GGO throws out the Semtex, won't connect, but wins down low onto a gunfight. Already 3 down. Passion Fighters now have the ability to move up and start to gain a little bit of that map control, as we are going to see some flash checks come in. Young Just, the big AR player, will be sitting on top of sandbags, watching over things, as GGO won't be able to combine with that more than one spree. So he is taken down. Good line of defense being set up for us. Holding construction control is player number 8, one of the big power positions that we will watch for, as they have a couple of members down. They're slowly but surely pushing up, but Noah Hydro with the big 2-piece with the assault rifle, as well as a second assault rifle from Reform. If they can get themselves set up in the middle of the map, they can most certainly lock things down and make it very hard for these submachine guns to move up.
You really touched on that this is a smaller map. We might be seeing a lot more flag pulls or flag caps underway, and we haven't in the CDL or in the Call of Duty competitive scene been able to analyze the CTF on these maps. But as I take a look at the mini-map, it might be AS1 Network with the better spawns in the midst. The starting half right here where they have, it looks as if it's a lot easier to kind of break that blue flag out of their spawn right now with all the different angles and all the different routes that they can run out. Because if you look at on the mini-map where the red flag is, it's just an open space, an open area that you have to break on for. There's going to be a lot of places for AS1 to set up and lock down these spawns. But as we look at it, it will be it will be AS1 Network trying to put the pressure on with Bet and Miguel actually pulling the flag and getting it out there. It's cleaned up by Reform. They get the flag return. Reform trying to pull out, but Bet, he's holding that pressure in the top of the top mid. Will he be able to keep the pressure on? It's up to really Hustle it. He's been the one that's been doing a good job of breaking out. Noah Hydro finds that kill. Young Justice trades one out for himself. Right now, Passion Fighters, they might have to... You said they've been the team to start off with a good pace with the opening pick. And if they can pull off a flag cap in this side of the map, I do think that they will win this map.
It's very possible. The spawns are pretty tight and close here towards a lot of these flags. You might need more than one member, certainly, that touches that flag with you and it's close and nearby, almost holding hands, if you will. We'll see. That's already 3 minutes about gone by in this first half. Silent with a big kill. Has the dead silence to also work with, so look for him to make an aggressive play as Young Just is going to be taken down as he looks like he just disappeared off the map for us. But Risky has to follow up here in P2 to try and shut things down and lock it out. And some of the members from Passion Fighters, they're close, they're looking for it. That's a big opening kill. One more player is close and nearby. That will be Young Just with the assault rifle. GGO will have the smoke, has the cover, but Young Just holding the angle, wins one, Silent with the trade. He's being collapsed on, but he turns and burns on Bet and puts him to bed for about 7.5 seconds. This will be still an opportunity, but the spawn's there in the back of construction, so won't be able to get a flag cap or a flag pull off of that big push. There was a good attempt, and now we'll see Passion Fighters still in control of the middle of the map, have all their players pushed back up as they'll wait to catch some of these AS1 players looking to move up themselves.
And like I was saying, without that construction control, you saw the spawns of AS1 Network. They just got in there and they were able to re-collapse on that flag as much as they can. Young Just had a very important kill to make sure that they didn't get that flag cap, but Sleepy, he might be that difference on AS1 Network. He was in map 1 over on Gunrunner. He might be able to recommit to it in map 3. He's definitely taking his time, and I love the patience coming up from 3 go down for Passion Fighters. That might be a call for Sleepy to take the flag, but even still, he's waiting for the spawns, and he's being that player to just wait, which I love from him. Risky finds GGO, 4 players breaking out mid for Passion Fighters. Noah Hydro doing an excellent job, but Young Just, he's trying to be that one to secure the pull for Sleepy. 3 go down. Will he pull it? He's taking, I think this is way too much time now.
Oh my god, this is like, here we go. Man, that is a big blunder. That's a big misplay there from Sleepy. There was 2 occasions where 3 members had went down, and he had not went for that flagpole. And now you're just seeing the loss of the middle map control that just goes over towards Passion Fighters. That was most certainly a big misplay. The hesitation playing a factor here. Have to wonder if the nerves are starting to kick into this winner's final, but that was an opportunity to go for a flagpole. Does not work out. And now we'll end this first side 0-0. Heading in towards the second, AS1 Network. The team that we look like to be the favorite side, and I have to agree with you on what you had said earlier on, and being able to touch that one just a little bit easier. Now we'll flip, and we'll see if Passion Fighters can get anything rolling for themselves, but that simply was just way too much time to wait to be able to pull that flag. You got to take that risk. When you have 3 members down at the middle of the map, and you're in control of pulling that flag in a second, you got to pull that just a little bit faster and pull the trigger.
I mean, with the pace of Modern Warfare, you have a knife that can double your speed on running. You can pull out that secondary, grab the flag, and just, it's go time at the one. So definitely Sleepy taking 30 seconds, not even grabbing that flag is very hard to kind of agree with. I'm curious as to what the comms were like on the side of AS1 Network, but right away we see 5 go down. They're breaking in over in second hardpoint for this map, but they're going to clean up their spawns, stabilize away, and this is what I'm talking about. The spawns are just too favored on the side of Passion Fighters right now. And, you know, Young Just, if he's shooting like that, they might be able to go 4 go down. They're going to smoke it out, pull it down towards construction. Silent not able to get the kill. Bet doing a good job at holding them down there. And, you know, all of my analyzing, this might just go out the window if they cap it right away.
I think they did a better job of pushing through construction, and this might just end up being a return that goes through as the trophy system gets kind of stuck on the ladder. Oh, that was a real close return. Risky had a chance to find that kill. But I look at this. AS1 Network have a much better understanding. They're pushing through the right side of the map, which does leave them more vulnerable here for Hustle to be able to make a play like this. But it nets them more control by construction and forces out the spawns to come through by P2. But Hustle has just been having his way here. He's unfortunately all alone and has no support to be able to back up his big 3K that did just play out on your screen. And while that happens, Risky's been locking down construction. He looked to turn onto one, but Noah is there with the kill. And now the spawn's forced in towards construction, going to make things a little bit more difficult to retake control of the building. But Miguel here has his teammate with him, as once again they'll push through the right side. They're forcing the spawns by P2, where they're going to have to try and back up and play a bit more defense. And this will just be a great approach here time and time again. But AS1 Network, they're going to have to find a good amount of kills before they will be able to actually get the flag cap out. That being said, 4 do go down for them, so now they're going to be the ones that's going to play defense for a quick moment, as we'll see the whole side of AS1 try and set up and stop this push.
4 go down, Reform still being that pain down tunnels. He finds the kill onto Risky, so they might have to back up and clear him out here. But Sleepy and Bet doing an excellent job. Hustle, he's going to be that saving grace there, in my opinion. Michael trying to pull over sandbags, but GGO clearing him out. They're doing a good job, Passion Fighters, at clearing out their spawns, but AS1 Network, there's definitely a fire lit underneath them right now, able to get into the spawn of Passion Fighters, and their guns are on fire, their shots are shooting straight. I do like the chances that they are getting here. They might be able to prove me wrong on this side, because I mean, it's still, in my opinion, favors Passion Fighters, but not if AS1 Network is shooting the way they are doing. It's just Passion Fighters have to take their time right now, clear out the lanes, and push in, dedicate themselves to one side. And that's where I think AS1 Network right now is doing a good job at dedicating themselves to one side, clearing out Passion Fighters. They're going to be pushing through the left side of the map this time. Michael might be able to get that flag touch off. He is going to pull it back right over towards his teammate. Michael with the pick onto Noah Hydro. Sleepy with the backup. Are they going to break it out? Yes, they are moving over towards the bomb site. This might be a clear flag cap if they're careful. Number 2, he has to be that winner right there. Gets the shots. GGO not able to get the second. Sleepy is
Silence back here
to cap this, but oh my god, Silent, if you're able to clean this up, Silent! You might be the biggest player in the world, and he does. No, he doesn't. Wait, what just
happened? He got the return. Silent win, absolutely massive there. The perfect timing on waiting. Gets to the back and slips by. Big plays from him this time around to be able to get that play. Most certainly a cap that should have went through. Does not end up going through off the back end of an amazing heroic moment. However, the flag has been pulled out one more time. Will be shut down. There will be no crazy heroic run on the opposing end. But still 1 minute of play left in this one. Silent gets taken down. No flags have went through on a map that we had maybe expected to be a few more flags, but the spawns are ever so close to both of the home flags on each and every side. There will be a moment maybe to see one more cap that could come through, but it will have to be at the back end of what looks to be this left push through Risky and Michael trying to get control of P2. First kill will be shut down. Michael combines with 2 himself as GGO is there with the trade. And well, everybody on defense right now for Passion Fighters, there's 30 seconds left. They don't have anybody pushed up towards the flag to be able to get a flag pull. So this might just be a 0-0 scoreline that we're going to get for ourselves here, heading in towards what should be overtime.
I mean, it's map 3 for the grand finals right here. 14 seconds left. Hustle's the closest one to touching. Michael's going to clear that one out. Does look like we're going to get an overtime. This is as close as we could ask for the winners finals matchup. Bet, as he is close up to there, he's not going to do it. And you know, we both kind of dropped our analysis onto this map. You said that it's going to be a lot of flag caps for Ramhaza to capture the flag. I
expected it.
Yeah, and I said it's going to be way favored for the players who are spawning on construction here, but AS1 Network is doing such a good job on that attack right there. All that they were doing, clearing out the lanes, taking control of one side over the other, and just supporting each other in that spawn, holding each other's hand. They're doing a great job, but right now, they're back to that favored side that I was talking about. Will they be able to continue that in this time around? It's really up to, I guess, those aggressive players that have been Michael, Bet, and Sleepy. I want to see them pop off here and do what they've been doing all game.
Definitely. I still think that this is most certainly the favorite side, but it comes down to construction control. You have to have your assault rifle on this bridge or in and out of the construction building. That's what you have to watch for. Noah Hydro, however, he's been tagged up very heavily in the back, will be able to keep himself alive as his teammate actually deals with the player that was trying to take him down. Now Noah Hydro with a big gunfight finds one, but Bet is there with the trade. So locking things down on the right side is going to be strong for now. Passion Fighters still flooding the majority of their sub players here through the left side, not trying to get get themselves to the construction side, but I most certainly think it's the best way to be able to approach this flag. And GGO is simply buying time for his team to be able to move up. They have their assault rifles now just in about the middle of the map here. One player in the very back playing defense, and that will be 3 down. So Passion Fighter is going to be locked up in towards their spawn. There's only one member that's going to be pushed up, as we'll see Noah Hydro grabs himself one. Hustle combining for the second, and they're looking to move right back up in towards the map. Still lots of time to play within the overtime. Risky tries to get the pistol out and does so successfully. Big plays from him to be able to take this player down. And now look at Silent. He's got behind the construction building. He has a chance for a pull, but there's a lot of members close by.
If he didn't take that shot, I think that would have been the biggest brain play that I've ever seen. Risky, he's able to clean that one up. Does a good job at clearing Silent out of that construction area. He's doing also probably a smart play, just backing up and making sure that construction is locked down. He's going to clear out that left lane. The map, GGO and Hydro, they combine for 2. Michael, he might be that player to break through middle here. He's going to get a flank onto GGO, except he misses it. And he's going to break out onto the top. He has 2 players there to meet him. You look at how scattered the mini-map is. There was a player in construction for Passion Fighters, but he's cleared out. Number 2 is cleared out by 8. That's going to be Bet with an excellent clear of their spawns. Reset for Passion Fighters, AS1 Network, and Passion. Like, this is as close as we could ask for, Visions, in this winners final.
It's very close, and it's very hard to get a flag cap and run it. That is for sure. There's so many places that you have to watch for when you're cutting off these lanes, and it makes it so very difficult to be able to get a flag across the map. But there is still time to do it, as we are going to see some ground gained there for a quick moment for AS1 Network. But as I say that, they're going to lose 3, and that's off the back end of the big 2K here from Noah, who's looking to push up. Risky down low. Will be able to get himself in towards the corner here to maybe to watch this cross, but GGO finds him and takes it out. However, this is where things get very difficult. It's getting back towards this right side of the spawn here. You need to be able to force spawns on one side of the map. Use that smoke where you only have one player that's going to have access to it, who's going to be able to get that down so you can maybe get that flag pull out. The smoke does not look to be great, but GGO finds 1. Make that 2 as he has to turn around for 3, but he's taken down. It's so hard to be able to touch this flag. You're seeing it once again. So the defense will be good for AS1 Network. They will lock things down themselves, and now we'll see if the push can come through for the side of AS1 as they've gotten themselves a bit of ground. They try to push up, but immediately will be shut down.
Honestly, Hustle pushed up number 5 on your minimap. He has to get these kills, and he has to stay alive here. This is very important. Finds a double kill. Where is his backup? Sleepy is there. He's going to get the triple. He's absolutely going insane in the spawns of AS1 Network. Risky's going to be there to clean it up. And honestly, if they're just a little bit more patient in this, they have to wait for that backup when you're attacking the spawn. AS1 Network did an excellent job at doing so, but Reform, he breaks on out. He's going to be met by Miguel. That's an excellent cleanup indeed. Silent with 3 on the side of Passion Fighters might be able to be a pain in the butt of AS1 Network, but Michael, he finds that kill. Noah Hydro, it's his turn now. It just seems like they're one by one pouring into here, Visions, and I don't really like seeing Passion Fighters move that way. AS1 Networks was doing a great job, and they got the closest because they were able to have 2 or 3 players in the spawn of Passion Fighters at the time to pull that flag out and to make sure that they locked down the lanes before they just randomly pulled the flag. We were touching on the kind of the thought process that goes into capture the flag, as I don't see I just see a lot of hectic plays and a lot of not very capitalizing on waiting for your team right now in this capture the flag right now.
To be honest, I think it's really hard, man. I'm watching these spawns throughout, every single handoff, and they are so close to these flags. Like, it is really, really hard. It's almost like you have to get around this corner and hope to God that no one's in the lane that you're running towards, because things are so difficult to pull out. And now we will get a round draw. Not sure if sometimes in other CTF games, it'll give us a second overtime. Not sure if it'll just be a replay of the map here, what's exactly going to play out for us. We're getting a final kill. We'll find out very, very shortly whether or not it'll send us to a second OT or not, or if it will simply just be the conclusion of this game. And well, that's looking like it will be a final round. So will be a chance to switch sides one more time to see if a flag can come through. I feel like this might be sudden death for us now. So there will be no chance to be able to work off that overtime clock. So if you were to see a flag that were to come through in the last overtime, you would have a chance to flip sides and have 1 minute to be able to get that flag cap if that's how long it took the team to be able to secure the first one. Now I believe it's going to be sudden death. So if a flag cap goes through, I'm pretty sure this will be the very end of this game, and that will be the close. closeout. And that is a great opening start for GGO, who grabs a couple, but Young Just responds with a big 2K of himself. And now there is going to be an opening. Michael's beelining it here to the left side, has P2 control. Everybody will back out here for the side of Passion Fighters as they have this spawn. And Noah Hydro, he's been so solid so many times before, will be solid again. Will not let anyone slip through and touch this flag.
Silent clearing out his spawn, making sure no one's there, including Michael. He finds that pick. He's going to be able to break out down through tunnels. I was taking a look at the scoreboard visions, and there's 6 people in this lobby who have broken over 30 pit kills. So the engagements in this matchup definitely way up there. And if it goes 0-0, I'm curious to see if we're going to reset the map. But Sleepy working alongside Silent, looking to take this kill. They're going to smoke it off, take the flag, and they're going to run it over here. Hustle's the last player standing in way of them. He's going to find the flag, return it into their spawn. Silent is going to be there. Actually, it's going to be Young Just who gets picked up by Hustle. We have to watch how AS1 Network restabilizes here, because Passion Fighters, they do a good job at clearing out their spawn. You can see the mini-map. You're going to see number 7, number 8 work over towards construction side of the map. They take out number 4. That's going to be Noah Hydro spawning back up on that timer bet. He's going to get cleared out by Reform. 3 go down for AS1 Network. It looks like Passion Fighters, this is their chance to take positioning in the map, take that space, and kind of clear out a lane for you to take control of. But Risky's doing a good job at making sure that doesn't happen by taking control of middle.
3 minutes left in the second OT for us. No one being able to touch these flags made it so difficult to get towards the back, but Sleepy with 3 in a row does give them a bit of breathing room. That will be Michael, finds 2 in the spawn. Can he slip away? He does grab the flag, and it gets it a little bit closer towards P2. The follow-up is there, so we do have a flag run, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to come down to some very coordinated gun skill that's going to have to come out into play. There's 1 kill, but Bet needs some support. Reform is looking to chase him down, but he might simply slip by, but there is the return once again. It's going to be Silent, who has now saved the game twice for his squad. There was a big pull and a big opportunity, but they will not be able to make use of it. And now still 2 minutes left with 20 seconds to see if there will be any more opportunities with these flag runs.
It just seems like it's almost like a mimic of last time around, where we did see AS1 Network. They got it to that courtyard where the bomb site is, but they weren't able to break out to their spawns. GGO, though, he's going to look for that kill into Michael. Actually, Michael's staying alive. He finishes it up. Finally, 3 go down. Hustle. This might be his chance to be the saving grace of Passion Fighters, but Risky, he's shutting that down. He's making sure it doesn't happen. GGO having an absolute blast on that top area, the top courtyard area. Silent, he is going to be the last one standing, but Michael, he's going to take him out. Noah Hydro, he finds 1. Bet's going to clean that one up. Look at the minimap. The spawns are out. They're holding that line of scrimmage in the middle. Passion Fighters doing an excellent job at keeping the pressure on. Number 5, that's going to be Hustle. He looks to break through. He finds the first pick onto Bet. They're going to see Young Just and his counterpart in that courtyard able to turn around and make sure they want to clear out that number 5 player. Hustle, he's going to have quite a few kills in his hands. Not able to find any. Silent with the backup. Hydro with the backup. 1 goes down. Reformed able to clean up with Michael. But this is just, it's where I want to see that team play come up instead of just going that. Hustle had an excellent chance of staying alive if his teammates could get there, but the spawns, even though it's a small map, the spawns are still far away, and they're doing a good job at breaking out of their spawns and making sure that line of scrimmage stays in the middle map area.
55 seconds left. Coming down to the wire. Should be the very last overtime here for us, which means that it could just be a replay on the map. We'll find out exactly what happens, but Young Justice trying to keep their hopes alive. Does find the big 3K. Reform trying to respond with maybe a big 3K of his own. Will be shut down. Silent looking to follow up, and will take that same path. Finds the first one. Spawns right in the back, though, right behind the flag. So very close. You have to keep just absolutely running and gunning, and it's almost like the only way it's going to happen is off the back end of a big multi-kill. And the defense is holding their AS1 Network. Will be able to hold strong with only 15 seconds left. I don't think it would even be possible to run the flag in this short amount of time. Sleepy will try, but there is no chance you're going to be able to do that here. So this will be a very, very tight CTF in map number 3 with 5 seconds left. I don't think it gives you extended time, so there it is. That will be it. And well, now we're going to find out, as I have to assume it's going to be a replay of the map. Don't know if it's going to be the same map for us or not, but it is simply a draw. However, this could be a totally different game. AS1 Network, there was a couple moments where they had almost gotten that flag that came right through. And on the back end of Silent, both times, he was the one that stopped those flag caps from coming in. The first one individually was the big one because Seymour, he was just a couple seconds away, really just a couple of steps away, I should say, of putting that right in towards the cap flag and being able to get that first one on the board. But that line of defense, the patience of waiting, the trigger discipline all played a major factor in that, and that was the main reason why we had even gotten this 0-0 draw that played out for us.
I mean, you really saw every single time that AS1 Network, they pulled the flag out of the spawn of Passion Fighters. They ran it through towards tunnels, but every single time they pulled it out of the spawn, you did see that Passion Fighters was doing a good job at breaking through middle restaurant, cutting through the side and taking that courtyard over on the, I think it's BS and D that's over in there. They're taking control of that. They cut them off on the half. And I really like the way both teams are playing this. It's as close as it could be. We've gone 4 rounds without a single cap. We both put our analysis in it that construction's the better spawn to have. But each time we say AS1 Network attacking on that, we do see that AS1 attacking construction. They just have the better positioning. They're doing really good at clearing out the lane with multiple players, not just with one throwing themselves at the flag each time. And every time you see a flag pull for AS1 Network, there's at least one player there to back up when he tries to pull it out there. You have one player grabbing the flag, and you have one player with mid control. It's just Passion Fighters are doing a really good job at taking that mid control away from them and cutting them off at the halfway point. So I like the way both teams are playing this. And, for a winners finals, this isn't even grand finals yet, Visions.
Yeah,
this is winners finals, and it's as close as we could ask for.
And so we are getting a bit of a rule change coming in towards this. The same map will, of course, be the same game mode, but it will be 10 seconds now, spawn delay, instead of, I believe it was before, about 7.5 is where CTF at least has been here for us in the past. So 10 seconds, going to give you a lot more time to work with. So a lot of these multi-kills that we talked about that were kind of playing a big factor in towards the mix here is likely something that's going to be a lot more rewarding for you. If you find those 2Ks, those 3Ks, there's a lot of time down. They could be able to at least try and get that flag out and run it through the map. So this is going to change things up drastically here for us, Seymour, to see if this will now be enough time to be able to actually grab that flag. Because let's be honest, there was not very many touches, if at all, here across a lot of those rounds, and it was very, very difficult because those spawns were just about always close to the flag one way or the other. Ramaz, not a very wide map by any means, so it doesn't necessarily spawn you too far forward. And we saw that there just about every single round there for us through all 4 double OTs. Absolutely insane. These teams have now played quite a few matches against each other here, quite a few sides in towards the mix, so they're definitely very familiar with each other. But with the 10 seconds added in, this might just be the change up to be able to see a couple more flag caps now come through.
And this is where I want to see with that 10-second respawn. I want to see when they get that break off. I mean, I can't remember which player it was for AS1 Network on the original first round. They had him inside of Barbershop, and he sat in that corner and he waited. And he waited. There were 2 times where 3 players went down for Passion Fighters, and he just stood there. I think it was for 30 seconds at max without a certain cap. So that 30 seconds is going to be a lot of time when it's a 10-second respawn. You have to think about 10 seconds of that timer each time he's waiting for that. There's just a player waiting to respawn. He can get that flag cap. He has to worry about 2 players in that situation. It could definitely favor AS1 Network because I'm noticing in the kill feed, there's a lot of flood of red going down in the kill feed more than there is blue. So it's going to be Passion Fighters who have to slow down their play maybe and watch out. Make sure that they don't get flooded out by the gun skill that is AS1 Network, because you made it apparent inside, like from game 1, from game 2, is that Passion Fighters are doing a really good job at keeping the tempo of the game, and AS1 Network, it just seems like that slaying team that just wants to keep running at it, keep slaying, and keep the pressure on as much as they can. So with that 10-second timer, I do expect Passion Fighters to slow down their pace, make sure that they clear out this AS1 Network team, and they really watch out that they don't get too aggressive on this team that just wants to be up in your face, wants to take you down, and wants to clear it off of this map. But it does look like we are going to be hopping right back into this game, Visions. This is going to be an exciting one.
It's going to be an exciting one. We're going to get the replay. 10 seconds timer now in the mix. Will this make a difference? We are going to find out. As Risky and Silent trying to be able to battle out that initial gunfight. Silent wins that first one and now pushing through the house. As he's going to be able to bust right in towards P2 fairly quickly. And there is an opening. Already trying to maintain control. He's got a big gunfight. Oh, yes. Stop shooting. So Sleepy will get the best of Silent. Will not be able to let him push forward. Now back in towards the middle. Hustle with the 2K for himself. Shuts down the assault rifle player as well as one of the sub players. Not allowing them to be able to get control. Pushing up is going to be Hustle, who's trying to stay alive. And he's got great support around him and over top of him. And he's got some good shots. That's a few players down. He is not close enough to be able to touch that flag. However, Silent has steeped right back in towards the mix here. In P2, there's a player watching over it. And there's a player that just spawned behind him. And there, as Booter just watching this play like a hawk Seymour, I don't see a world where he's going to be able to pull this out. But he has now gotten all the way towards the back here behind the van, and he is just waiting for his chance.
Look at where AS1 Network is positioned. They do have two players over towards construction. Those are two players. Their arrows immediately turn around. They're waiting for Silent to push up to him. He's gonna get that pre-fire off, but Silent, he's ready, and he's waiting for his team. Noah Hydra and Reform. That might have been the clutch play to get you that, but Risky doing an excellent job at getting around behind him. It looks like they're gonna set up for the recapture. It's going to send it right back to the home. 4 go down, 4 Passion Fighters. AS1 Network are going to set up at that halfway point. We did get notification from our producers that the original spot respawn timer was 5 seconds, and it got brought back up to 7.5 seconds. So it's not technically 10 seconds, just a little bit lower than that, but it's enough to make a change on this game. And this, we were talking about it. Once again, Sleepy is in that barbershop. He's going to have to be that player to take it away a little bit faster, but 3 go down, make it 4 for AS1 Network. GGO taking up Michael. This could be a flag pull from the side of Passion Fighters. They're going to run it towards tunnels. Look at where they're spawning up on the side of AS1 Network. It will be on construction side. Number 5 with the flag in hand. Number 9 is going to be the closest to get that confrontation, but number 3 is going to be locking it down. It does look like the first flag cap is going to go in favor of Passion Fighters, and that's going to set the tone for the rest of this game.
Yeah, already seeing exactly how this drop spawn timer here is starting to play a bit of a difference. Gives you more room to work with. And Passion Fighters been the team that has just strikes first every single game so far across all 3. They do it once again, and they're going to find 4 down. Risky with a big crucial kill. That was the farthest player pushed up on towards the map. And that will stop the initial push from coming in. That could have very likely been 2 flag caps in a row. So big save from Risky to be able to do that kill and find him, as we're seeing now the sub player starting to move right into P2. It's going to be Noah who's waiting, but the trophy system is down. And well, that's shots that go through. Bet wins the first one. Will there be a trade? No, there will not be a trade there that comes through for Hustle on the second. So Sleepy with some good defense here, combines with a couple of kills. Looking maybe for 3. GG. Oh, that's a tough one to lose, brother. Sleepy now putting on a bit of a clinic. Was 3 and 6, but on this life brings himself even just for a quick moment. Up top, Silent will be good with the kill. Controlling the left side of the map. Passion Fighters doing a great job of maintaining control of P2 and giving them more and more chances to be able to pull this flag out.
Right, looking to clear out that top mid area, but GGO, he's going to shut him down. Silent, he does end up going down in the spawn in P2, so it is AS1 Network going to be able to push out, but GGO with some solid shots across the map onto Risky. He's having an absolute banger of a game right now, and if he's able to break out any farther, it might be dangerous for this. Going for the reload, it costs him. Young just going to be able to jump up there, and he had 50 kills in the last part of this game, and then but right before we switch this, and it's going to be Young Just having a little bit of a slower start this time. He's 3 and 7, not able to have as big of an impact. Passion Fighters sitting 1 and 0 in this, and AS1 Network, they're just having trouble to find that rhythm that they had before. They're finding that rhythm, the aggression, and the kills that they were doing right before we switched into the second respawn timer setting. It is going to be nice map positioning for Passion Fighters to keep the defense on. 30 seconds left. It looks like they might be continuing the trend of going 1-0 into the second half.
Might just be the case here for us. No one's pushed up for AS1 Network. It's still, don't think there would even be enough time if Bet even touches this flag. Wins the first one. Will be good with that very first kill, but only 10 seconds left. Just trying to add a couple more kills towards the stat list here for us before jumping in towards the second half. And Bet doing a good job of trying to do some of that to bring himself back towards positive. So 1-0 up. Passion Fighters now with the change of the timer going up a little bit more. Back to what I believe it was supposed to be. We'll be off the back end of a 1-0 flag lead. Like we have seen so many times before, they have led 1-0 in the half. The only time we saw them fumble that was in map number 1 off the back end of some very crazy heroic plays from AS1 Network to be able to run those flags in the last couple minutes of the round. You do not want to have to be in that same situation where you're forcing the plays to come through on the flag caps, but the switch of the sides now in towards the mix. We'll see if AS1 Network can do exactly what Passion Fighters just did themselves.
And really, in my opinion, it's Young Just here. He's with that slow start he had, it's allowed Passion Fighters to kind of take a strong presence into this map, but it was really troubling to see right now Passion Fighters pulling the flag and getting that cap on the, in my opinion, still the harder side to go, but they keep changing. They keep going against my opinion here and making sure that I'm the wrong caster. I'm getting the wrong analysis. But GGO, he's looking for another flag pull in the spawn of AS1. He's going to pull it on towards construction. There's nobody there to meet them except number 8 on the minimap. That's Bet. Will he be able to find that kill? He finds Reform, but GGO, he's doing an excellent job in staying alive. Sleepy in point 2. He is going to be met by some more aggression, but he's doing an excellent job at keeping alive. He's going to find Silent. Is he going to get the return? No, he has actually the flag pull. I never even noticed that. He's going to pull it towards... He's going to pull it towards tunnels, and it will be a stalemate, Visions.
Oh my lord, what a crazy play that just broke out here for us. This flag cap will go through. So insane play there from Sleepy to be able to work that flag in the back of the spawn. That's what I talked about very early on. Playing that timer. When it's over your head and you pull that flag, you have 10 seconds to work with. When it's pinging on the minimap where you're trying to track that player, he wins 2 crazy gunfights, and that allows the flag cap to come through. AS1 Network, respond. Michael on the bridge will also look for 2. Tries to snap for 3, but Hustle with a very crucial shutdown to make sure that assault rifle player does not gain control around the construction area. Reform now looking to reflank some of the players that have hit out this lane, and this will be a flag cap once again. Can Young Just do what he just saw his teammate do? 2 big kills from him. He's on a 3 spree. This is going to be another run. There's maybe 1 player that can stop this, but it has to be at the back end of a crazy play, and he will be stopped. He will be shut down. AS1 Network starting to figure out the map as they put the second flag in.
Just when you count them out, AS1 Network just changing your mind of this game and pulling it right back in their favor. 2-1, 2 minutes and 40 seconds left, so I can't count Passion Fighters out of this game just yet. It's going to be 3 going down, though, as AS1 Network, they're going to set up for another flag cap. Sleepy, he's going to be in point 2. He's going to break out there. He's going to put a door right in the face of Hustle. Hustle staying alive and making sure that flag doesn't get pulled, doing an excellent job at returning it back to their side. So 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. I do want to see them stabilize and push out one of these lanes together, not one by one. Passion Fighters, they've been doing that all around. They need to find their pace in this, and they need to do it as a team, but 2 go down for AS1 Network in their favor. Make that 3. Young Just finally finding his footing in this game. Reform trying to get that, but Young Just putting him down. Make that 5 for himself. That's a 3 killing spree. He's 12 and 13. He's pulling himself back to even, but he's right bottom construction. He's finally going to get cleaned up by Hustle. This is where I want to see Passion Fighters. I want to see them push out as a team. That's all I'm asking them to do, but they're having trouble, and it's really on to those sneaky plays that AS1 Network is setting up to pick off one at a time and make sure Passion Fighters is having a hard time at stabilizing and making sure they stay together as a team. But as I say that, Silent, he's going to pull the flag, and right away he's dropped by Bet.
Big defense right now from AS1 Network, not letting this play cap go out. That's a lot of members that go down, and now everyone from Passion Fighters with some deep spawns in the back will have to slowly maneuver and work themselves up across the map here. Only 1 minute and 10 seconds to play, and they're gonna have to try and force a big OT. Silent can't win his gunfight. Young Just, who pulls out the submachine gun, starting to make some magic happen here, bringing himself back to even. As we can see more plays come in. Player number 2, that's GGO. He's 20 and 17, make that 21 and 17 out the back end of that big kill. He has his teammates watching over him, but the spawn should be there for Ruins over towards the side here for AS1 Network, and everybody has been dealt with, has been taken out. They're 45 seconds on the clock. The pressure is starting to weigh down on your shoulders. Sleepy is watching this push through as he will be able to take Silent out in towards the back and now apply more pressure into the back of the flag here. Everybody on Passion Fighters not sure if they need to deal with Sleepy or to be able to actually move forward, and Sleepy almost wins that gunfight, but Noah will hold strong with the shots. Now only 20 seconds left. It will be Reform who has a chance to try and pull this flag out, but Risky's there with the deny. Two players running through the middle of the map. It will be the knife out, but the shutdown's there. The defense will hold on as I hit a crazy voice crack in this one. But my God, Seymour, what a crazy series that we got between both of these squads. Unbelievable. Passion Fighters don't have enough passion in the second side of both of these second side of CTF, so the struggle unfortunately playing out. But AS1, man, it comes down to those second sides. They got the ice, they have the clutch factor built in towards them, and what a fantastic winners final that we just got to watch.
Oh my Lord, Vision.
Wow.
6 rounds. We thought there was going to be a lot of flag caps. 6 rounds and only 3 captures, and all 3 of those captures came out in the same round of CTF, in the same map of CTF. We had to go to a second map play where they changed the rules for the respawns to be a little bit later. 7.5 seconds being that change that allows both of these teams to get a little bit more of a footing in this matchup. I mean, if I'm Passion Fighters, I'm really feeling bad going into those loser brackets after that. That was an absolutely insane game from them. They played their hearts out, and AS1 Network just steals that right out from underneath them. AS1 Network, just like we said that they were that team. They're just throwing themselves at that wall nonstop, putting that pressure on, going for the kills over the tactics. And I mean, maybe that's what we're looking for if we're looking at the CTF rule set. And maybe that's what we want these teams to do over the tactical, because on a small map, like maybe on a bigger map like Art Club Peak, you really have to worry about broadcasting your site over the mini map, getting that ping on there.
Sure.
Maybe on Gun Runner too, but Ramaza, it really came down to that gunplay, those just slaying out when you can. They're both teams. You have to commend them for that. They both brought it down to the wire. They both had clutch plays. They both were heroes in their own teams, but at the end of it, AS1 Network, they just came out on top.
Came out on top, ladies and gentlemen. And just before we get ready to throw it towards a break here, we're going to take a little bit of a breather. But if you're looking to pick up any merch here, Nerd Street Gamers, we got plenty to offer here for you. As you can see on the screen, there's a good amount of sweaters, t-shirts, whatever you're looking for here. Make sure you guys do head over towards their store here as they host online, as they do actually have themselves a good amount of hoodies, everything that you can imagine. And well, the local host apparel is now available for sale online. T-shirts, sweatshirts, long sleeve tees, and more are available for purchase with new designs and styles dropping soon. Grab some merch today at nerdstreetgamers.com. Again, guys, that's nerdstreetgamers.com. Make sure you guys head over there right now so that you can take a look at everything that we have to offer, even more than what you're seeing on screen. But now, ladies and gents, we're going to throw it to a break. That was a crazy winners final that we just got that played out on screen here for us. Our very first look at CTF here through the competitive scene. Fantastic. I very much enjoyed it. And well, we got lots more that's coming. We're jumping down to that losers bracket to see who's going to be able to bounce back up to that grand final. It's going to be a treat. It's going to be exciting. Don't touch that browser. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back very shortly.
Dude, I haven't seen you since Chief destroyed the ring. I thought I lost you.
The Covenant's gone for now. Let's head back to base. We've got a lot to catch up on.
Alright, let's do this.
Why did I choose Temple? I chose Temple because I love Philadelphia.
I wanted to find a school that was in a city.
Temple's really supportive of everyone, career-wise, internship-wise. They have a lot of opportunities for everyone, like study abroad. Temple students are so passionate, whether that's about their school, their major.
Just don't be shy to ask somebody, hey, what's your name or what you're majoring in, because I've made my best friendship so far that way.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 5v5 Flag Day CTF Tournament presented by Nerd Street Gaming. It is myself, Seymour, and Vations. And after a very long winners final, we're going to be heading into the losers final for this one. It's going to be Legendary Aces going up against Passion Fighters. Passion Fighters obviously being the team to come down from the winners finals. So they're going to be bet by Legendary Aces, who's had to battle through that losers bracket a little bit longer. How are you feeling about this one, Vasions?
I'm feeling pretty good. You know, it looks like Legendary Aces got knocked down really early on, like going all the way back towards, you know, round number 1. And being able to actually play up against AS1 Network was the team that beat them down there. So I'm feeling really good because there's a chance that they're going to get a shot at a rematch. And I think that there's even a better chance they're going to get a shot at a rematch, Seymour, for the simple fact that we saw Legendary, or rather Passion Fighters, just lose a very tough series where they held just about the lead going in towards the second half across 2 out of the 3 maps, and they only held on towards that lead once. So, you know, I have to kind of wonder what the mental fatigue might be like playing throughout the day here in this tournament, throughout the CTF $1,000 series here. And it's got to be really tough for them to kind of bounce back from this. But before we do jump in towards that, of course, ladies and gentlemen, just another shout out here towards some of the things that have been able to put this on and make this a reality here for us on the day with CTF, jumping over towards, of course, the online games and tournaments that we have to offer here at Nerd Street Gamers. And well, it's not just Call of Duty that we have available for you guys. We got Smash, Valorant, Rocket League, and more. Make sure you guys head over towards nerdstreetgamers.com. Again, that's nerdstreetgamers.com to see if there's any games besides Call of Duty that you might be interested in playing in, to see if you can try out and make it towards some of these late stages in the brackets and have some shots at some money. But back in towards the mix, we've seen some great CTF play so far on the day here. Passion Fighters, as much as they have lost and maybe fumbled a couple of those leads, they have still looked pretty solid. They are most certainly one of the best teams within this entire tournament here. And now we'll see if this losers run from Legendary will be enough to kind of build them up and put them past and get themselves a ticket into that grand final.
Yeah, it does look like we're going to be going to Gunrunner too. And last time we did see Passion Fighters play this Gunrunner, they did get that opening flag cap. It was kind of a little bit of a hero play from Sleepy and Michael over on the side of AS1 Network to kind of win out this gunfight map. But, you know, it was a really well done job by Passion Fighters. It's just the one thing that I can look forward to them in this one is maybe changing up and continuing that pressure into the second half that they did in the first half to get that flag cap. But like you said, Legendary Aces, they've been coming through the loser bracket this whole time. This could be their chances at that kind of revenge spot in the grand finals. But looking at this Legendary Aces squad, we got Freddy Spanks, Kabito, Shapak Attack, Slur, and Soul. And they're looking for revenge in this losers bracket finals. We're going to be starting off with a double kill from Legendary Aces, met by Silent. And they're having an absolute blast here on this one side, pushing in through crates. Freddy Spanks with a second player looking to break on through. They're met by GGO. You find a nice pick from Freddy Spanks. Freddy Spanks finds 2. In fact, breaks right into the spawn. Make it 3! This man is on an absolute tear with a 4-kill spree right away.
What is this guy doing? All right, I'm a fan of Freddy. Let's be honest. That was a crazy breakout, and it does allow them to get close enough to almost touch that flag. But they will now have to try and break out on towards the map again. Nobody's really pushed up. You see player 8 right now. That is actually going to be Shapak Attack. He's just sitting back there playing very much defensive after getting 4 down. And, well, you want to be able to push up when you get these kills. And, well, Freddy is obviously the player to watch. He opens up with another multi-kill. He's 7-1. Tries to snap onto one player here. That would have been crazy if he took down GGO. They try to get themselves another attempt. There's been some great pressure points so far, but the rest of the players are simply not pushing up on the map for us here, Seymour. They're playing very defensive, and this is something that we did not see in the last series.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I really want to put a little bit of a highlight on number 8 on the minimap. That's Shapak. He has been sitting in that position for the whole game. He is 0-0, hasn't had a single engage. That is the most action he's ever had, and is throwing a Semtex. He's going to be throwing a stun down. Noah Hydro doing an excellent job at breaking off their Shapak Attack, not having any bang for his buck for sitting in that position. Reform working alongside GGO. Nice little kill. trapping him inside that warehouse spawn. It will be the flagpoles, and this will be Passion Fighters going up 1-0 immediately, and that is definitely a big misplay from Legendary Aces. I think they got a little bit ahead of themselves in their attack, and it really led to a lackluster defense. Noah Hydro having an absolute tear right now, an 8-kill streak. Will he be able to find more? They're going for the second run in the flag. They're getting that repeat right away, so it's going to be a 2-0 lead for Passion Fighters. Doing an excellent job in this spawn trap, but Noah Hydro, an 8-kill streak. He hasn't stopped just yet. Make it 9. An absolute tear on the map right now. He finally goes down. Who else to stop it other than Freddy Spanks?
Oh man, Freddy, had a great start, but has slowed down a tiny bit. Passion Fighters, however, everybody bouncing back from that last series loss. And that's what you like to see. The regain coming in as well, setting up some great defense on this side of the map. Will be once again in that spawn trap, fighting to get themselves out. And Freddy actually is just kind of sitting in the back of the spawn right now. He is not in game. That's a big member you don't have. Maybe changing some settings. He's back in towards the mix. Still 2 minutes to play on the clock as Hustle's doing some laps, tries to get out with the flag, and he does. There has to be a big stop. Freddy looking for the big gunfight, but Silent there, who has just been here so many times, as well as Noah Hydro. Both players on the minecart, just cutting these players down as they're trying to cross. They might just need a smoke to actually get themselves out and past the spawn. Freddy trying to throw out a frag grenade to be able to get the job done, and they do finally bait and switch out this kill successfully, but there's already been a 3 flag cap advantage built up for Passion Fighters. They're running away with this one early, and if they put 2 more down here for us, Seymour, they're going to be able to claim themselves victors very early on.
I want to point out, you said you were a fan of Freddy Spanks. I was a fan of Freddy Spanks at the start of this, but ever since his start of 7-1, he is 9-9. He has only received 2 kills and 8 deaths, so that's a 2-8 kind of flip over there. But as I say that, Kabito, he's got flag in hand. He's going to be pushing it to minecarts. Noah Hydro sitting in boiler. He might be able to find one. That's Freddy Spanks trying to push him. Gets the kill. Reform going to knock that down. They're going to look for the flag return. It will be a successful return. Send them back to the warehouse. Noah Hydro is 15-3. GGO 13-6. They're having an absolute standout game, and it really shows in the scoreboard on top. I mean, Hustle, he just got a pick in their spawn, and Kabito, he just pushed out. He didn't even care to clear him out of their spawn. So they're doing an excellent job at bringing this. It's going to be 4-0, and this is an absolute one-sided affair towards Passion Fighters. They're really showing why they deserve that winners finals and why they want to be back in that grand finals.
Listen, Freddy Spanks, he had a great start to the game and slowed down, but he has just about no help from any of his teammates at the moment here. You're really just seeing, an 0-11 start here for Shat Pack Attack. Maybe we're starting to understand why exactly he was sitting there, and Noah Hydro on the other end. He is 22-3. He's on a 12 spree. He was on I believe it was an 8 spree earlier on. This guy is absolutely taking over single-handedly, and it's been all done at this position you're seeing on your screen right now. He's been on this minecart, not allowing anybody to overextend. This will probably be the 3K or the 4K that came through for him, as he is not moving, lighting things up, and man, what a way to be able to do it. 4 caps to none. Definitely the biggest lead we have seen so far through all of the maps that we've seen on the day. And now you have to try and turn things around, but you simply just need 1 more flag cap to come through for the side of Passion Fighters. If you grab that last flag, that is it. That's your ticket towards that grand final and another chance at that rematch.
Freddy Spanks once again slowing down at the start. He is not running off the spawn, so like you said, having a little bit of trouble. It's either connection issues or he's changing up some settings in this one, but he's 11-13. Definitely a slower start than he did before. It is 4-0 for Passion Fighters in this losers bracket finals. Looking for that grand final spot. You are going to be at a disadvantage. GGO finds a 3-piece on the map, but I'm really looking towards how they push this and how they attack this, because this is the side that they actually, I'm pretty sure this is the side that they had trouble on against that AS1 network. So I want to see them keep that pressure on. Don't let off of this Legendary Aces spawn. They're going to pull the flag. It's going to be in hand of GGO, and he is going to be on the races, having his team fully aware that he is around to get that cap. But If you look at the minimap, number 3 is going to be doing the same thing. It's going to be a stalemate between both teams. Freddy Spanks finds a 3-piece. GGO going to go down, but Hustle, he keeps the flag alive, and he keeps the dreams alive for this Passion Fighters squad. Looking for that 5-0 cap. It's going to return right to their spawn in Warehouse. They have to watch out for this last player, Shapak Attack. He is continuing to drop that donut 0-14 in the losers bracket finals. That may cost you some maps.
Oh, it's definitely gonna cost you some maps, and it will look like it's gonna cost you this one. Good snap. Kibito able to grab this very first kill as he's trying to inch closer and closer towards the back. And while Passion Fighters, they don't even have to really move up. They have a massive lead. This stalemate is favoring them ever so slightly. As Freddy Spanks does grab himself the 3 spree, 20 kills, the only one on his team that has been able to break this 20 mark. He finds the shot through the window. Oh my god, Freddy's looking to do it all by himself. He manages to end his kill, still keeping the spree going. Unbelievable work from Freddy to be able to get that flag count. So first one on the board, as Freddy is still frying them right now. 7 spree for him, man. He is running through them like nothing, brings the knife out. As we could see Slur try to go for a cap of his own, but is more willing to play for some of these kills, trying to buy some time. Will be taken down 4-1. Still need a lot more work from Legendary Aces, but at least that was a good start.
24-16 is Freddy right now. Like you said, trying to do it all. They get the flag cap. They're only down by 3. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. This might be where we see them try to turn it around. Freddy going for the second flagpole. He's going to pull out his knife. He's going to execute the pull out through green. So nice job for himself. He's going to slow on down, wait for his teammates to back him up. Slur is going to be that player to do so. He's going to be backing right into their spawn. Soul goes down, really looking at Silent right here, number 5. He's sitting top AC. He's going to look for that. Freddy spots him out, but it's still going to be the kill going in favor of Passion Fighters. It is cleaned up. GGO is going to pull the flag, and the flag was returned for Passion Fighters, so this could be the 5th pick if GGO can get out there. There's nobody on the minimap, in my opinion, that will be able to contest him, so that is going to be a 5-1 flag cap advantage for Passion Fighters, and they are looking poised to go right back and get revenge on AS1 Network after that heartbreaking Ramaza loss.
Heartbreaking indeed. Minute 40 in the clock. It's just looking like it's just going to be impossible to be able to get anything going here for yourself. Noah with the batons, waiting for someone to dare challenge him. Silent there with the glance little cleanup. Good shots from him. But you are simply running out of time. No one's close towards the flag. A lot of players underperforming here within map number 1, as you have 3-18 for Shapak Attack, 8-25 for Soul, just unable to kind of keep up with all of his dominant gun skill pressure. And well, a lot of that was off the back end of Noah Hydro in the very first side. Has slowed down a tiny bit here in side 2, but still enough to be able to add that additional pressure to the map. And it's making it so difficult. Just no moves really can be made for Legendary Aces, as they're just going to maybe try and push up one more time, but with only 50 seconds left, you need 4 caps to come through just to simply tie it. This is going to be mathematically impossible to do so. Good attempt, however. Passion Fighters, I think, really able to bring things back for me some more. That's the big takeaway for me in this map number 1. The bounce back, and well, not just the bounce back, but doing it in dominating fashion is one heck of a statement.
I mean, if you go 6 rounds to lose out to AS1 in that grand finals, or in the winners finals to kind of move over there, I would be out for blood too. And they're really showing that in this game. 5-1, there's 30 seconds left. Definitely going to be a win for Passion Fighters, and we are going to see them match right back up to AS1 Network in that grand finals. One reminder though, in the grand finals, it will be AS1 Network with the map advantage. So they're going to be going into that. They only have to win 1 map. And it's going to be Passion Fighters who have to win 2 maps in a row to kind of beat that one out. They're going to be at a map disadvantage. But Passion Fighters, after this game, they're looking good. And they're looking like they're out for a blood. I like to see it.
You like to see it. And I mean, this is really going to be the build-up, what it feels like to be what very likely might just be a rematch, unless we see, multiple members here for the side of our squad here for Legendary Aces to be able to kind of combine and bounce themselves back after a very, very tough, brutal map number 1 loss. And that's off, again, a couple of the members, not to try and, bash them too hard, but you simply need everybody consistently matching the gun pressure here from these 2 top teams. Even if you were to, let's say, get past this Passion squad here, then you have to go up against the squad that's already sitting there in the grand finals here for us. They're sitting pretty. They might even be watching the stream, trying to figure out just some of the things and overall tendencies that these teams have built in towards the regular routes and their strategies to be able to pick that apart and build that in towards the grand final here. So you have a really tough task, even if you were to get past this very first team here, which is looking very unlikely. And I mean, Passion Fighters, it says it in their name there, Seymour. You know, they obviously got the passion here behind them. The bounce back, the regain has been good for map number 1. Now they just have to do that here for a second map in a row.
Probably, I have to say the passion is definitely flowing for them. And I'd probably have to say Noah Hydro is that standout player in that game, the difference maker in that Gunrunner map compared to when they were playing AS1 Network. He just consistently, he was 31-16 in that matchup. But in the attack, when they're pushing through, he really stuck there, and he just played minecarts to a T, and he was just holding down that head glitch. He was controlling the spawns. He was controlling that angle across, and it was just locking on, beaming them down as they were trying to cross. You pointed out, I pointed out, and they were just doing a well-oiled machine at making sure that legendary aces were having trouble getting out of their spawns. They had a spawn trap locked up. They got 3 flags in a row. It was almost impossible for legendary aces to break through that. They were doing an excellent job at making sure they were consistently keeping the pressure on like you wanted to see.
Keeping the pressure on, and I think they did a much better job of knowing when they could go aggressive, which I think was maybe kind of one of the struggle points when we were watching that the very last grand finals there versus AS1 Network, where things maybe weren't as easy put together for them. That was out the back end, of course, of that squad, maybe just being equal talent in a lot of those gun skill and understanding how to play certain situations out, of when to go for those flag caps and when to play a little bit passive. This time around, though, it just felt like they were maybe just a level ahead in the gun skill, so they were able to touch the flag so many times before. And well, this is actually going to be an interesting map number 2 in the sense of whether or not we're going to see that happen again, or if it is just going to be the closeout here. But it looks like it is maybe just the best of 1 here for us, ladies and gentlemen. So that was actually just a losers final, just simply 1 map. So the blowout was in, and they closed it out. So actually clean work from them. We're building up the second map. I thought it was a best of 3, so they will be able to at least advance. And now we will go to what will be another best of 3. However, 1 map advantage for AS1 Network. That's the big thing to take in. They simply just have to close out 1 map of the 2, and they will be your grand finals for this Flag Day tournament. So there is a lot on the line to be able to do this. You have to see 2 straight maps come in, which is not going to be an easy task by any means, but both of these teams have went head-to-head already. Now they'll do it 1 more time to see if there will be a comeback from this losers final from this side of Passion Fighters. Will they have enough passion in the tank to be able to close out this series in the grand finals? We'll find out here. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after the break.
Hey Mike, you ever feel like we're missing something? Come on, Ike. We have kebabs. We have a fan. Oh. And we have music. What could we possibly be missing, Ike? Yeah, I guess you're right. Wow, that sounds like a big one, Ike.
That's it. That's what we needed. We needed more Mike and Ikes. It's been so long. I forgot about our legacy, Ike. I just wish there was a way to get more. But it's the last box. The last box on this deserted island.
Wait, if E equals MC squared, and Mike and Ikes are made out of fruit, and fruit grows on trees, then based on the principle of candy versus the square root of the circumference of the earth, then... Huh. I can't believe that worked! I guess they are fruit flavored.
Oh, good one, Mike! Yes!
Oh, baby. Contrast stitching. Curves that'll hug your body. adjustable arms, custom embroidery, memory foam pillows, changeable color inserts, lay flat recline, removable logos, soft durable material. Yeah. You like what you see, baby? Zip chair.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, after a little bit of a break between that losers bracket final and the grand final we're going to be heading into. It is grand finals time. It is myself, Seymour, and Visions alongside myself, and a little bit of a blowout in that grand final, but it is time for the revenge series that we've been waiting for. Passion Fighters looking to take back what they had going on with this AS1 network. Might be out for blood. A little bit of a heartbreaking ending to that winners bracket final. We might be here to see it again. Visions, how are you feeling about this?
Feeling good, feeling great. I think that I have been convinced that we can see Passion Fighters regain their team name. Apparently says it all. And well, the way they were able to come off of that win there in the last series puts them in, I think, a real good momentum spot to maybe carry that series in towards what will be the rematch, like you just highlighted. But 1-0 start, there can be pretty much no mistakes that can come through here across this very first map, because this should very likely be the final nail in the coffin here for us. So that will be very, very interesting to see exactly how they're going to combine and come together for this rematch, and whether or not they're going to look to change anything. Are they going to adjust their roles? Are they going to adjust, who's running the smoke, who's running what trophy? Things like this, I think, are going to be within the discussion of both of these teams, and whether or not that's going to break out here for us will be the big question.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, we saw Passion Fighters back in the first round, like we were talking about. In Gunrunner, they went up with that early pick, then they let off on the gas, in my opinion. And they're going up against AS1 Network. It's going to be nothing like that Legendary Aces matchup that they had before. They have to keep that pressure on the AS1 Network. They can't let up at any moment at all. They almost have to treat it like they were treating that Legendary Aces matchup, just with full force of aggression. Your guns are hot after that grand final. You had after the losers final, you had a 5-1 flag lead. And we're going into this map. It does look like Gunrunner. They're going to be setting up in the lobby. And I that's all I have to worry about for this Passion Fighters team is, will they keep that pressure on that they did in the first half going up against AS1 Network? Or is it going to be a little bit of a different pace that they're going to set to them? Maybe they want to find them with a little less aggression. Maybe they want to play a little bit back and play it with time, get those kills out, slay out the spawns. But I'm also curious as to how AS1 Network will take this, Visions. Will they be a little bit slow off the start? They just had a little bit of a break. Like you were saying, they might have been watching these teams on the Twitch channel. They might have been watching to see how they play, but right now, it's really on to the start. Who's going to set the tempo first, and how are they going to play it? I want to see pressure going. Map 1, Gunrunner. We're hopping right in, and we are going to be hopping on with Passion Fighters.
Hopping right in. Veto system coming into a factor across the maps, and I guarantee this was the map pick here for Passion Fighters themselves, but we will see if they can try and keep themselves going, as it will be Hustle that tries to lead things off, trying to break right in towards the mix here. As he breaks himself right into Boiler Room, already middle map control given over towards a couple of these players where they might be able to press forward off the back end of this. And getting a chance at a flag cap could come in, but the trades will be good. So the first initial push that breaks close towards the flag will get shut down. But looking over towards here, we've seen Noah Hydra in this position so many times before. He will be dealt with here from Young Justin. A very important kill to make sure Passion Fighters do not get caught in this spawn trap very early on.
But yeah, you can instantly see number 7 and number 9 with number 6 alongside them. They're going to be breaking down to the bottom side of the mini-map, and they're going to be working this crates area. If they can break into this, if they can move along through washrooms and clear it, there's going to be a strong position to hold for that flag run. If they can run it down this, they might be able to be set into getting that first flag cap, but right away you do see Passion Fighters. They are going to be backing up into their spawns. They're going to be turtling down, making sure they clear out AS1 Network as they move in. But Bet and Michael find 2 picks. That might be the time for Passion Fighters to move around. And I honestly, I like the way that AS1 Network is holding on to this. They're not being too aggressive. They're not being too quick on this. They're taking their time to clear Passion Fighters out of their spawn. But right away, it's a nice cleanup by Noah Hydro to keep Young Justice away from that flag.
Just a heads up, ladies and gentlemen, team names are currently switched at the top. So Sleepy here for AS1 Network will try to pull this flag out. He's bringing it towards P2. Does not have the dead sounds to work with. And well, there is a nice read from Silent. He has been so lights out in a lot of these returns. It's not. Oh my God. Risky. Good night, my friend. Oh my Lord. That was a tough one to see on screen. Silent makes it look easy. Gets the return, finds the snap, finds another snap as he takes down Bet. This man is absolutely frying, and he might be able to find the return and now run the flag all the way back. He does pull it out. The trades are there, and it looks like this should be Passion Fighters now running with the flag, and there is nobody here for a cutoff.
It's almost a mirrored exact matchup that we saw in that first map, Gunrunner. It was Passion Fighters. They were turtled back into their spawn, an overextension from AS1 Network. They cleared them out. They moved into their spawn. They got that second clear. Pull the flag. They go up 1-0 early, but it's a little bit quicker than it was last time. You have 2 minutes and 16 seconds left on the timer for this first half. Plenty of time for AS1 Network to pull it back and get it tied up with a flag cap of their own. And right off the start of that, we do see them working the bottom side of the minimap. In the mid, though, is going to be Young Just, cleaned up by Noah Hydro. He had an excellent time last time in the the losers finals. He had a 30-16 run. He is 6-5 this time. Reform, I'm looking at him right now because he is dropping a donut. He's having a little bit of slow pace, but his team's keeping him still in it. So I like the way that Passion Fighters are playing this right now. But right now, if Reform, if he picks up the pace with his play, it might be out of hand for AS1 Network. It might be a little bit too much for them to handle.
Oh. Well, Hydra somehow sniffs him out, and they do end up finding that kill. It's not allowing anyone to kind of hold the position, sneak on through. Sleepy, on the other hand, inside of green, does manage to find that very first kill. Backs right up. So very defensive stance right here for us. And well, the next push about to break out once again. That's going to be a big kill that comes in. Moving through the forest area, forcing those spawns into the back of the warehouse. It's going to be very difficult to try and defend the flag. It will be up to the member that's sitting by the boxes there. That will be Silent. He lets one run right by. The stun does hit him, but it might have been a teammate. And look at that snap that comes through. Big kill on his Silent will not allow him to be able to pull that flag out. Having the disciplined trigger finger to make sure he doesn't find that kill. I like the play, but not enough to be able to make the flag pull out. And now there's 40 seconds left in this first side here for us to see if either one of these teams can get a last second pull.
Bet has to stay alive here. He has to be that change that they have on the side of AS1 Network, but it's Hustle. He's going to clean him up, doing a very good job at breaking out for his team. Sleepy with a double kill might give them a chance, but 25 seconds left. I mean, last time they capped the flight, they had 17 seconds, so they have to put the wheels on if they're going to cap it, but it does look like it's going to be a 1-0 half indeed, unless Hustle, no, that's going to be too much. He missed the flag cap, and he's going to be cleaned up by Michael, so a little bit unfortunate. Might have been a 2-0 lead, but it's going to be a 1-0 lead at the half. It's a strong start from Passion Fighters once again on this Gunrunner map, but not as dominant as they were against that legendary Aces team.
You know, I don't want to put the storyline out there again here, Seymour, but we have just seen this story so many times before. Passion Fighters lead the first half, 1-0 flag cap lead. And then it usually comes off the back end of some crazy finesse and maneuvers for the side of AS1 to be able to work their way right back in and somehow manage to take the lead in a lot of those matches. They have to do this here again.
And with that thought, it's going to be the same sides too that it was in that storyline. So sorry to cut you off, but I wanted to throw that in there, that they're going to be playing from the same sides.
Absolutely, same sides and everything right in towards the mix. So very, very interesting. And well, we'll see if it ends up being true. Will we get a map number 3 to play the decider, or will there be a closeout with a nice comeback from AS1? Already pushing up the left flank here. Michael looking for a big gun battle. Oh my god, Reform. He started off slow, 0-6 in that first half, but that's one heck of a way to kick off the second half. Does get taken down from Sleepy, but already gaining his team a lot of map advantages. You see those blue arrows working their way up in towards some of these areas where they might be able to get closer and closer to that flag.
Really looking at the map positioning for AS1. They're really putting a heavy stack on that middle train area to get those long line of sights. They're going to be pushing through washrooms. You see two of them Hustle with an important kill. Actually, he gets burned on by Bet. What a shot. Sleepy not able to find that second one on that push out. 3 go down for AS1 Network, and it is Reform finally finding his form in this matchup, and he is doing an excellent job with this M4 Bet. He finally clears him up, and this might be a chance for AS1 Network to break on out from that left side of the map, or the bottom side of the mini map, as Michael, He's backed up on these crates. The pressure from Passion Fighters, this is what we were talking about. This is what we like to see. They had the pressure on. They're not stopping in this second round, and I love the way they're handling this situation. Hustle's going to get the flagpole. Not if Michael has anything to say about it. Nice cleanup from him. They're going to stabilize.
Find the player that's trying to push through. Michael with 2. Waiting for Silent. He's just going to play patient. Finds the first one. Looking to reposition. Tries to get the jump shot. But Risky there will put the final touch right in towards him. Take him out. Risky now with some high ground positioning on the cargo crates. Looking for some great kills. It's going to now combine for 2. 7 and 13. Was 5 and 13 before this life. But he's heating up a bit. Silent could only grab 1 before the quick burn there from Young Just. So we have that snap. Make sure there's no multi-kill coming in. And while you're seeing the side of AS1 Network here, moving up through the forest area. Remember, again, the team names are switched at the top for anyone that might just be tuning in, but there was a lot of arrows now pushing to the left side. However, look at GGO. He's been able to actually find a perfect execution here, pushing up the middle of the map. He breaks open the setup, finds 2. Risky is still alive, but making it so hard as his flag cap was pulled, but Young Just is there with the return. It will make sure things only stay at a 1 flag cap lead.
If we're looking back to that Ramaza capture the flag that they were having, it was really Young Just. Once he started going, it was really hard for this Passion Fighters team to keep up with them. So I'm looking for him right now. He's not having the greatest start. He's 17 and 16. He's staying even, but he's not really being that standout player for AS1 Network. It will be the shutdown from Hustle that stops the pressure from AS1 Network, but Young Just, he's going to be working alongside this forest side of the map, sitting on back rock. He's going to have 2 players in front of him. GGO is going to push out there. He's cleaned up by 3 of them going down. AS1 Network is going to be pushing in. Make that 4 as Michael finds a double kill, and they're going to be looking for this flag cap. Make it 3. Michael is having an absolute tear. Young Just with the flagpole, and looking at the mini map, this is going to be a confirmed 1-1 tie.
Oh my god, of course it is. Of course it is, Seymour. Oh my lord.
Wow.
This is insane. This is just about the exact same thing that happened. If one more flag cap comes through, I don't even know what to think for your Passion Fighters, but it is not over yet by any means, and they have gained a lot of map control due to everybody here for AS1 backing up to make sure that flag cap did go through. So defense now has to be played, and is being played well. They find 3 kills that end up going through, so dealing with all the members, there's only 1 more up, and Risky manages to keep himself up and alive. So great work that comes through. They're going to be able to deal with everyone. Silence the last one that's up. He's also taken down. So everybody here for the side of Passion Fighters back in towards those deep spawns, having to work their way back up to try and win those very tough battles, and those battles are not swinging in their favor. There is a chance for a flagpole here. There's a couple defenders that will stop the first push, but a couple more players now coming in towards the mix to see if they can touch that flag one last time before OT.
30 seconds left. 3 go down for AS1 Network. They're going to be backed up at that halfway park. I'm looking at Risky. I'm looking at Young Just. They're both going to go down in this one. Risky's the last one standing, so it's going to be cleaned up. 15 seconds left. No time to get a flag across the map. It will be a 1-1 tie going into this overtime matchup. Players just looking to pad their stats a little bit more, but before the swap. And I do like these. Like it looks like these both teams are back into form visions. It looks like they are ready to bring the fight to each other, and they're ready to bring it well. Because I mean, Young Just, I was talking about him. He needs to wake up, and he got that first flag pick reformed in this first half. He had a slow start. Now look at him. He's in the play of the game for that second half. They're heading to overtime. Both of these teams looking as good as they can be right now. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I want to point out that if AS1 Network wins this map, they win the series. So Passion Fighters, they have to fight for their chance in this series. They have to send it to a map 2 if they want their tournament life to stay alive in this grand finals.
Definitely seems like the favorite side here for us will be the boys on Passion Fighters to see if they can now combine for another flag cap. Both teams looking to get flag cap just like they did on this side. And well, there is the trigger. They're going to pull it, and they might be able to touch this flag very early on. Only 30 seconds into the round. GGO gets away, but he doesn't get all the way out. Young Just with 2 big kills. However, the flag not been returned just yet. There was a smoke down. They're trying to jump on top of it. There will be a return that does go through. So not able to pull it out the entire way, but getting very, very close to doing so. A good first attempt, just about 40 seconds in towards this overtime round. Reform with a big kill, looking to combine for a second. He has Hustle, who's all the way towards the back, and the double Semtex grenade. There's an opening. That is 5 down. The flag will be run, and nobody is in position. Look at those spawns. They're deep behind P5. This will definitely be a flag cap that goes through, and it is very early.
Very early indeed. About 3 minutes and 40 seconds will be the time in that time bank. Passion Fighters coming out on top with that half. AS1 Network, they really have... Is that the map? There's just one flag cap. That's the map win right here. I don't know these CTF rules because I know in past games it has been a switching of the sides, and it will be the remaining time inboard for the team. I think they actually have to cap it in mimic time.
Minute 10, I think, is what they have. Well, minute 15. They got a minute 15, so you have to work quick, very fast. It's not going to be easy, but it is possible. We'll see if they can do exactly that, or if we will go to a map number 3. GGO is not going to be able to have that great start. Michael with 2, trying to put a stop to it. And now we're seeing AS1 Network here, slowly but surely, trying to get closer and closer. Sleepy trying to get on top of the flag. Reform will get the return as he's in the back, locking things down. Bet over towards the side here. Is going to fire some shots. Finds the first one, but the trades are ever so good right now. And you're seeing aggression also from the side of Passion Fighters. They're trying to push all the way back in towards the warehouse. That's player number 1 who ends up winning his gunfight. So GGO is now being a big nuisance in the back of the spawn where he could even look to go for a flag cap. Well, all this happens. Risky had to stay alive there, and he doesn't. And now you only have 25 seconds left. You are simply do not have any time on the clock to be able to get this done here. There is no one going to be close towards the flag. So this will be fast. Passion Fighters in this very last moment able to go big in OT at the start of this round. There will be a touch, but I do not think that there will be any overtime as we see the wooden sticks come into play here, beating them down with the batons. Easy work done. Passion Fighters hold on and will send us to a map number 3.
And I know it says AS1 Network, but the team names were swapped. So a map 3 is coming out, and it will be. I don't know what the map is gonna be, but this is what I was hoping for these teams. I mean, it went to a map 3 overtime, then it went to a map 3 reset, and then now we're going to a map 3 in the grand finals. This is as close as I hoped for, and I definitely didn't count Passion Fighters out at any moment. They're out for blood. They want that rematch, and I love the pace that they are setting in this game. It does look like we're heading to St. Petrograd as that third map. Visions, how are you feeling about that map coming out? Because we've already seen it, and Passion Fighters, they did win that one.
They did win that one. And well, we saw that it was very defensively sided towards the favorite side in domination, which is that C flag, and is by that hazmat building there, P3 hardpoint. So that's definitely going to be the side that wants to try and take advantage of being able to grab some flag caps, very similar to how we just saw Gunrunner play out here for us. Now, there was a veto system, of course, that did come in towards play, and I do believe that at least our champions here that have made it towards the grand final here in the winner's bracket did end up selecting Gunrunner here and did get that in towards their favor as they have the lower seed at C10. So now Passion Fighters might be moving in towards a map that, like you said, we've already seen them win on it. And on top of that, you know, it is a map that is going to, I think, favor them a little bit more, where you can shut down a lot of this aggression that comes through here for AS1 Network, where they want to get very much up close and personal in your face. They got a lot of flag touches the last time around, but the problem was that they were never in a position to be able to run that flag back the opposite way, and the setups were the big problem for them here. There has been a lot of time to talk it over and maybe try and review some of those mistakes that were popping up for them in that series in the winners final, but you have to adjust to them, you have to fix them, because if you don't, well, we might just see Passion Fighters live up to their name here, see more fight through the passion, fight through the losers bracket, and bounce back up in what could be back-to-back maps coming in. And well, what hell of a story it would be if they were able to kind of pull that entire script right off.
Oh yeah, I mean, for sure, one hell of a story at all. But you have to look at it from, this could have been Passion Fighters in the grand finals. They could have been the ones to take that. It was anybody's game in that Ramaza. It was as close as it could be. So it only makes sense to be this far in it. AS1 Network, though, like you said, they had a lot of time to talk it over. And I wanna talk about that St. Petrograd that they had before. One problem that they're having is that they just kept on sending one player at a time to jump on the flag and try to pull it. They were sending one player to overextend, and that player just kept on getting 1-for-1 trades. So what I want to see AS1 Network this time, if they're going to break onto there, if they're going to get that flag cap out, and they have to play more as a team when they're overextending instead of sending one player at a time. Because as soon as you did send that one player and he did get the pick, if he picked up the flag and he managed to get it out a few steps, he was met by the stuns of the defensive team, the defense. Because as soon as those stuns came out, you're just, if you're not running, I think if you're not running anything to counter that, you're just going to be stuck in your boots. You can't do anything. You're going to be cleaned up, and you need that second player to make sure he can clean out what's coming from behind you, because it is not an easy flag to cap on St. Petrograd, and it is not an easy cap to pull on either side. So you really have to play with your team. It is not a solo game. There's a reason why there's 4 other players beside you in this matchup.
Watch the assault rifles. This is what makes the difference. Getting them in towards top hazmat, top restaurant, or controlling these long lanes. As you're seeing both assault rifles here on each side, holding down water, and the opposing player here holding down what was the right side as Hustle tries to get through, and Young Just is there with the kill. Noah Hydro, though, up top. This one of the power positions I just talked about. Controlling top restaurant nets you so much control. It makes it very hard as he does get tagged up from Bet, who's going to follow it up with a Semtex grenade and will connect on the Semtex grenade as he has now a chance to try and push through. But a good amount of the players right now are holding on for the side of Passion Fighters. The Silent combines for a big 2K for himself. Looks to open up. That's 4 down. They can look to move in. That is 5 down. The spawns are in the back, and they're so close. So they might have to do that exact same thing here once again.
And you can't be too hasty to jump on the flag just yet, because you do have to get that second clear out on the board. Michael and Risky doing an excellent job at clearing it out off of those spawns. So that's one thing you have to look out for in Modern Warfare, is that the spawns are not going to be, they're not going to spawn out on an overextension. You're going to spawn still in the back of your map. So when you're attacking a flag and you clear out 5, you have to look to get that second clear of the second wave clear as well, because if you don't, you're just going to be met by them. But now it's Passion Fighters looking to defend their flags. AS1 Network is getting in there. Young Just looking for the pull. He does get a 1-for-1 trade. Bet's the last one standing. He's going to get the kill. No, it's going to be Hustle. Punches him, beats him down, defending his flag with his fists. Risky is the last player standing, but once again, he has to just play his time. He has to play slowly because he has to wait for his team to get right back up there. He does find a pick on GGO. You can look at the minimap. Number 0, he's holding top water, and he does going to have a 1v1 against him on that bottom side of the map. It's going to be Silent going down. 4 go down. This could be chance. Young Justice picks up his sleepy, grabs the flag, and he doesn't escape with his life just yet. Number 0 on the minimap. That's going to be Risky. He's the closest to pick it up. Young Justice right there with him. So Noah Hydro goes down. Look, nobody is there to stop that. Is going to be AS1 Network, changing the history of these two teams playing against each other and finally going up 1-0 in the start of this game.
This is the favorite side, exactly what I talked about, able to make use of it in the first half of the first side. And now you'll see a bit of a response that does come in, that conceded map pressure here for the side of AS1 Network to make sure that that flag cap goes through, forces them to back up all the way. And now gunfights in the middle. Young Just, Hustle is choking a lot of shots right here. Big misplay from him is going to end up losing his life, and Young Just stays alive a little bit longer, but not before Reform is there in the Riverside with the assault rifle to be able to find that kill. A lot of defense being played though for AS1 Network, and this is where things can get very scary. Shots come through, but very shaky for Sleepy as he needs to try and find 2. Reform follows up the hazmat building down low, but not where you want to be with that assault rifle, where the defense is just so good. The spawn is so close by the flower shop. There's one more player that's there, but he is shut down. So GGO back towards spawn, and now you're gonna have to try and rethink this next push that's coming through for Passion Fighters.
You know, the movement of Bet has been on point for this team. He's just been doing so well at being that nuisance in their spawn. He's been holding top kitchen, top hazmat. He's finally cleaned up by Hustle. But if you look at the minimap, it's going to be a lot of pressure for the side of AS1 Networks. Hustle and Silent doing a good job at slowing that down. It is Hustle with a double kill, and they're going to set up bottom restaurant. Silent and Hustle both with double kills to break on out in that water side of the map. Bet finds a kill onto Silent. Risky takes down GGO. Reform goes down. Same with Hydro. And that will be a restabilization for the side of AS1 Network. 1 minute left, and it does look like they want to get a little bit aggressive onto their side. You take a look at the minimap and the setup that they have. It's going to be Risky. The farthest set up, he is taken down. Now it's time for Young Justice, although it seems like a lot of these teams are just going in one by one. I mean, AS1 Network did really good at taking the flag and making sure they had a backup to make sure they didn't get it, and that's exactly what Reform is doing right now. He does have the backup from his team. Silent and Hustle taking out Silent with a double kill. They might be able to grab this. Hustle has the flag in hand. They're going to go for the run. They're breaking out through middle, and that will be a 1-1 flag cap right at the start of this. So if you're going to cap a flag, it does seem like you need to have the rest of your team with you to break out of either of these sites.
I cannot emphasize how strong of a play that was there and how meaningful it really was, because this favored side here right now for AS1 Network is something that you have to be able to come out ahead with some kind of an advantage. Now that advantage of that one play cap that went through halfway through this first round will not net them anything because of the amazing run, and it was off the back end of his teammate throwing a perfect smoke in the door to make sure he gets slipped through far enough to be able to pull that flag out for his teammate to follow it up and grab it as it drops. An amazing play that just came through here for Passion Fighters, and that's what nets them the flag. So now they will switch sides. They will jump on towards this favorite side here, where if you're wondering why I'm saying it's favored, every single time people are spawning, watch where they're spawning. On this side of the map here that Passion Fighters are now on, they're going to spawn right behind Flower Shop just about every single time because of this wall and this barrier that's allowing you to spawn, because there's no line of sight to be able to block that spawn out unless you have someone in the very back. On the opposing end, you spawn back by the pool hall, which allows you so much more room to work a flagpole, and that's what's made the difference. We'll see if there'll be any kind of a change up as AS1 Network have the pressure on. You can't count them out by any means, but things definitely looking tough as Sleepy tries to make that first initial play, but will be immediately shut down.
I mean, if you look at the spawns for that favorite side, you see where Reformed is standing right there. You spawn right behind there if you're wondering where Flower Shop is as a casual viewer. So you hop right up on there. You have a full sight line right down on your flag. So it's so easy to defend and so easy to just stack when there's a team attacking you. But doing so, Passion Fighters, they were able to break through and they were able to tie it up 1-1. You're looking at number 4 Hustle here. He's not like the spawns won't be disrupted by Hustle being out here. He's just taking his time, waiting for his teammates to assist him here. And as I say, the spawns won't be there. Actually, you do see a couple of spawns coming out on P1 hardpoint for this map, so he might be able to spawn a few out and get a flag cap. Number 4 Hustle, he's gonna break it out. He's gonna have a 1v1 against Sleepy here. Hustle is actually, he's heard by Sleepy, so Sleepy's gonna try to clean this up, but he has to get back to his team because look at all the pressure that AS1 Network is putting onto the middle of the map. Sleepy or Hustle doing an excellent job at with that flag out of there, just staying alive, but in the end it is cleaned up and they are gonna return it back to the spawn.
Return is there. Silent with a big couple of kills. Could maybe look to try and make another play over and towards the back. It was a good attempt. Silent, though, will get stopped on his spree as he dies by water from Risky with the assault rifle. Reform with the AR himself tries to get aggressive as a nice stun is placed from Noah, but he cannot get to the flag quick enough before the trades are holding out very good. There's a small touch as they're trying to draw this out, but the return will be there off the back end of Michael grabbing the last 2 remaining players, and now everyone fanning and flooding back out on towards the map. Silent, the last one that's top restaurant, will reposition as he's going to put himself right into the dead middle. Player dies by Lion, and now he has a chance to wait for his teammates to push up Riverside so they can create a pinch and a double attack, and it's working great so far. Everyone playing defense right now for AS1 Network, and those spawns still way back by the pool hall. You'll see, keep spawning them in the very back, right by P2, and now the pull is out. This is the chance. Hustle is trying to run things through as they'll try and get this flag cap. This very likely could be the play of the game, but the stop in the back, the return is good. It will be held to 1-1, but another great attempt from the Passion Fighters.
And that was a huge play from Risky in the middle of the map. He was able to stay alive, get that pick in the mid-map, slow down the push from Hustle, and then Michael just went huge, getting that triple kill to return the flag. Young Just, he's trying to clear him out, but 3 more go down on the side. Sleepy's breaking out through water side of the map. GGO had the flagpole once again, was just AS1 Network doing such a good job at restabilizing that flag and making sure that they're clearing it out. Silent staying true to his name, but he is able... He's just going to sit back in this area, and he's going to look for the perfect opportunity, because if you look at the 4 players on AS1 Network putting the advantage on, they are going to be right in the spawn. Number 7 is going to pull the flag. Number 5, Silent, is just staying back there, waiting for the opportunity to overextend this flag and take them out. Risky with a triple kill. You're going to look at him go for this flag. Silent might be that winner here. He gets the flag return. That's what we saw in Ramaza Hardpoint, and that's the exact play I was expecting him to make right there. Excellent job by Silent to just be patient in their spawn. But looking at this next start here, you see GGO working bottom restaurant. He's pushing up in there. He's going to get killed by Young Just. They're going to be working the left side of the map on the side of Passion Fighters. They're sitting in ambulance. Now we do see a full 4 drop for AS1 Network. GGO doing his best to hold this down. This might be the chance for AS1 Network to break in and move them back in the spawn. Michael and Risky combined for 2. Young Justice gets a third one. Sleepy cleaning up. This could be a flagpole. They're going to break it on right down into Trans area. And it will be Sleepy with flag in hand. Going to have that double time speed as he pulls the secondary off. It's going to be 2-1 lead for AS1 Network. An excellent job at breaking in there. And on the less favored side, you are going to have 19 seconds left. Silent is going to be the closest for the pull. He's going to have 3 players there. Not going to get that kill onto Michael. Sleepy finds 1-3. Go down for Passion Fighters. That is going to be the game. Grand final. It's going to be submitted the win for AS1 Network.
AS1 Network, man, insane plays. And there was a great play that came through for Silent where he tries to go big once again, but falling just a tad short here for the Passion Fighters, almost able to do it, but the unfavored side finding some massive plays was just going to be incredible, and what really cemented this win at the end of the day. And well, the one thing about this side is that the spawns come right behind the flag of the flower shop. You don't get that overextension spawn that comes through, and that's what really kind of played in towards the mix there. As you see the final and the closeout there, AS1 will win the map number 3 just like they did previously against Passion Fighters in that winners final, down to the wire, neck and neck. It went the distance every single time for a Seymour, but there was just a little bit more ice in the tank there for AS1. Some bigger clutch plays, and just going big in the end made the difference across both of those series.
And if you're Passion Fighters, you're kicking yourselves after that one. 2 long games to go for that. You had the favored side. You had the setup. Silent was going huge with the cleanups to return the flag, but just the relentless pressure that AS1 Network was putting on to the spawns of Passion Fighters just kept them pushed back, kept them just in their spawn waiting, and they eventually were able to clear out enough to get that flagpole. They were doing a great job at making sure that they were clearing out hazard side of the map, working that water side area, so they had that crossfire when they tried to push up on top of Flower Shop. So it was an excellent job from AS1 Network to put that relentless pressure on to make sure they were trapping them in that spawn area. But really, hats off to AS1 Network, making it happen when we counted them out each and every single time.
Every single time. Getting it done, clutching up, and well, what an incredible series that we got across both of these squads here, watching them back-to-back. Play some very long OTs on Ramaza that went the distance every single time. But man, in the end, you unfortunately can only have one winner. I would love to see these guys hash it out through a best of 7 all day long for us here, Seymour, because it was very entertaining. There was no means of a blowout, very evenly matched between both of these squads, and really at the end of the day, both deserving a big pat on the back, but more so, of course, the AS1 Network, your grand champions here as they make it all the way, close things out in some very clutch fashion across both of the series. And well, you got to give them some big props for being able to do that. But before we throw it away, ladies and gentlemen, of course, another big shout out here to U.S. Army. Would not have been possible to throw on this event, and this is our very first look, at least for me and Seymour, being able to take a look at CTF, as it's not a game mode that's usually in the competitive rotation, but it was an absolute treat to be able to watch. And of course, U.S. Army was a big part of making sure the show did go go on. And well, if you're looking to make an impact, there's no better place to do that than the U.S. Army itself. Whether your goal is to be at the forefront of fighting, curing deadly diseases, developing and using tools and technologies the world doesn't even know exist, or defending your country, fighting disasters, and seeking adventure across the globe, the Army is where all of that can happen and so much more. The U.S. Army is a team of 1 million unique and powerful individuals working together to take on the most complex problems in the nation and the world and to win. Nowhere else on earth provides you the training, experience, and purpose you could find with the Army, because no other team has so many people around the globe with the goal of making the world safer, the country stronger, and the future of their communities better. If you're looking to secure a future, ask yourself, what's your warrior? And go to goarmy.com/Philadelphia to find out, to learn more, contact your local Army recruiter, and find us on social media at Army Team Mid-Atlantic. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure to be able to cast here for you. I'm sure I can speak on Seymour's behalf on that. It has been a blast. It's been a great time. And well, we've got to see some fantastic Call of Duty action here in Modern Warfare. Thank you guys so much for coming out, being able to tune in. And if you're looking for more tournaments to try and play in or watch, make sure you guys head over towards nerdstreetgamers.com to be able to do that. That's going to be it here from the broadcast team. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys at the next tournament.
Hard work, hard work. Hard work, hard work. Hard work, work. There you go. Hard work, work. Everybody doing it right. Hard work, work. Hard work. That's what I say. Hard work, work, work. Earn my pay. Hard work, work. Hard work. Do it every day. Hard work, work. Get up out of 2:45. Hard work, work. Ready to go and earn my pay. Hard work, work.
Oh, baby. Contrast stitching. Curves that'll hug your body. Adjustable arms. Custom embroidery. Memory foam pillows. Changeable color inserts. Lay flat, recline. Removable logos. Soft, durable material. Yeah. Like what you see, baby? Zip chair.
Our world is becoming increasingly dangerous. Today's soldier must continue to adapt to unfamiliar environments and technological advancements used by our adversaries. America's Army is the best trained and equipped fighting force in history, capable of conquering any foe, on any terrain. Do you possess the strength to answer the calling of a soldier?
Learn how you can be trained in one of 150 careers and potentially earn up to $40,000 in bonuses if you qualify. For more information, visit GoArmy.com.